in the definitions that I found, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is flawless. I will
Can
say
you link
that
the one you don't know how to pronounce?
It's the magnum opus of this creator's work. So as far as this being Neil Druckmann's magnum opus, I'm going to press X to doubt on that one.
Well, let's just say, as a production studio making good pieces of art, you can evaluate it from a certain perspective. So as the Gestalt, yes, it hits all the notes. It's well produced. It looks good, sounds good, plays good, yada, yada, yada. Yes, you can say that it is the best of its class. When we look at the thing as a game, meaning a player playing the game with a thinking brain, with an understanding of and history of lore, of its own lore, and we go,
an understanding of the history of, like, as in the previous fucking game.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you have the whatever lore, it's a book, it's a series of movies, whatever. So you have this memory, and you go, this is not the same kind of, why did the characters do this? Why are they thinking this way? That's not the character I remember. How did this happen? And there's no explanation. And they introduce new characters with new plots. And it's like, nope, that's not, like, it's like a sequel to a book, and you're telling a different character in the story, and you just kill off the other character because it's not their book. You're like, oh, that's not why I'm here anymore.
Like, like, we're going to have Harry Potter, except we're going to kill Harry and just have it be Ron.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just keep...
was the one you didn't know how to pronounce chef d'oeuvre?
No, I'm not.
Sorry, what? Huh? What was the word?
Chef d'oeuvre.
D'oeuvre.
I can honestly say I've never heard that word before in my life, so thank you for
I have.
Now I know how to say it in the future. Thank you.
All right.
Philosopher. I appreciate it.
Okay, before we get started...
I love languages, I apologize.
Let's just get started with the introduction. So, hey, welcome everyone, good afternoon, and this is Smudcast number 172. The Last of Us 2 is a masterpiece, and here's why. This is a video by the YouTuber of TJFL. He's a 6.5K sub YouTuber, and this was made in June 2020 with almost 20K views. So, interestingly enough...
Why do you bully smaller creators?
I don't care. Small, big, I don't care. Whatever democracy brings us, we will watch.
Zach, bullying builds character. Yeah. Bullying builds character.
It does. That's why I'm a pussy.
So just to mention, he did disable likes and dislikes on his videos.
Yeah, he did. I just saw that.
So So I don't know how critical or how sensitive this YouTuber is, but obviously not too thick-skinned from first glance.
Ooh, top comment. Finally, a thoughtful review by someone capable of critical thinking. There were definitely times during my playthrough when I thought, this is trash, but by the end of it, I have to agree with you. It's an absolute masterpiece.
Okay, wait a second.
That is a high praise comment, and we're gonna see if it holds up.
If I'm going through anything, whether it's a meal or the workmanship of a chair or whatever, and I see a flaw, I'm thinking, this is a pile of garbage. And then someone says, no, it's not a pile of garbage. It's designed to be that way. I go, oh, really? Then it must be a masterpiece. I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm easily confused and influenced by others. Okay?
Oh, my God. I'm so excited.
You either know the craft and craftsmanship and you compare all the holes in someone's work and say, yeah, that's a hole. But you know what? The hole's not that big. You're like, hey, you're right. And you confer with other critics. They go, yeah, that is a hole, but it doesn't detract from the other non-holes. And you're like, yeah, you're right.
Non-holes.
Then you could say it's not perfect, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, one thing that a lot of these people do is, and especially in the YouTube comments, is anyone that's pro Last of Us 2 is extremely condescending for some reason. They get very, very personal with it. I noticed that in the girlfriend reviews video. Smud, didn't something like happen with that?
Oh yeah, no, I was trying to see.
I don't know much about that.
That was just Twitter drama because I was looking for my comment, I couldn't find it, and she found it. I'm like, great. So everyone thought I was looking for attention or whatever. I was like, no, I just want to know where my comment was. And then she answered it, and it was a completely innocent response, which is all I wanted. But everyone jumped on me as if I was like badgering her or something. I was like, what the what's going on?
You just can't help yourself.
I'll say this.
Why you bullying me
about that.
You fucking bitch,
I was on the comments page of that girlfriend reviews video just because I was curious, and I read the comments. This was a while ago, so it might not be there now, but I somehow doubt that. And the top comment was, "I'm not surprised that gamers are too stupid to appreciate this game." And I thought,
what?
To leave that up as the top comment, she's certainly not helping. I'll say that. Now, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I mean, come on. You know what I mean?
I'm just astounded at the audacity of a statement like gamers hate games.
Because I'm pretty sure she even had a disclaimer in the video. I'm pretty sure in the video there was I could be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure there was a disclaimer in the video saying that she didn't want to provoke anyone and that she didn't want to start any arguments. But when the top comment, I don't remember whether she hearted it and that was why it was top. I don't think she did that. But I mean, I could check, but I'm not going to.
No, it's the typical fan response to have something they like and they want to feel good about themselves in whatever, actually any context. You're smart, you're sensitive, you're mature, you have good taste, this and that. That's all it is. It's like when someone likes a new thing that, oh, I like the new thing too. You are in the same category of awesome that I am in. It's like you're just patting each other on the back for liking a thing without actually understanding why. It's just like, I like the thing because it has X. It's like that. Why is that likable? Because it has X. That is not a reason to like something. You need to tell me what X is and how it works and why it doesn't, and why Y doesn't work or whatever. So all these critics that gush about a thing on YouTube that are popular, they don't use critical analysis. They use just video editing skills like fast cuts, piano music, a soft voice, and all these other emotional appeals that don't have anything to do with quality or understanding what is something. What is this thing that makes it good?
So,
if you guys look in the chat real quick, I pulled up girlfriend reviews, understanding The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Those are the top 3 comments that I just posted.
Whoa.
The top comment of not even a 10-minute video. This is still one of the best video game essays on the entire internet.
It's not even 10
to
minutes.
Understand, if you're going to make a video called Understanding The Last of Us Part 2, that I would expect that to be a hefty video. Long man style.
How long does it roughly take to read out? Well, how much text can you read out in 10 minutes roughly? Like 2 pages?
In 10 minutes, I think I read The Raven in 13 minutes.
And how long is
that?
The Raven's not very long.
Yeah, the first comment, that doesn't bug me. That doesn't bother me, because, people say that all the time to creators that they support. So that's fine. It's more like the personal stuff. It looks like it's not the top anymore, or maybe it wasn't as close to the top as I remember it being. But I remember there was some real hostile shit up there, and it's like, personally, I try to be flexible. Oh. Because it's funny how oddly political it got,
I can see what you mean by, if you're threatening the life of the makers of a game, then you yourself have no life. Go back to the basement.
Well, I'm not even taking it that far. I'm just saying, in terms of when you're Jesus fucking Christ, when you are intermingling with people. Sorry about that. How there could be some disagreements, and sometimes I think it can get too heated, where it's it's like there are some people in my life that I sincerely like. There are streamers that I like to watch, and I've heard them passively say yeah, I like The Last of Us 2. I think it's great. And it's like, okay, well, I disagree, but they don't have to know that, So I try to be flexible like
Well,
that.
look at the second comment. It just starts off as someone with PTSD. So already he's appealing to his sense of scenario, whatever that emotional problem. Like you change that to as someone who's lost a loved one, as someone who's killed a puppy, as someone who's done this or that. You know, pick something. Yada 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 yada. I don't know. Maybe, and again another attack feels sorry for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing what I want to see, but that makes sense to me. I don't know. I'm just some guy who knows stuff, but maybe I'm not.
Oh my god. Hold on. I'm going to post this one that I just found because you're talking.
And the third one is Donkey just praised your video. Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, that was a funny one.
From someone who has lost a parent, you can't be mad at what caused the loss or it will rip you apart. Pause right there. If someone murders my mom, I am hunting them down to the ends of the earth and making sure they suffer.
Message coming in.
Like, there's no like that. Dying in a car crash versus somebody murdering your parent is not the same thing. Like this person's fucking insane.
I don't think they're insane. I just think that it was I just think it's an inappropriately construed metaphor.
My goodness.
I like the second part. There's a lot to be learned from this story, but people don't see it because they can't deal with the loss.
The loss of what?
Joel?
The loss of Joel. Joel, no!
Okay, yeah. So he thinks that the reason why fans are angry is because the main character died. That's not why fans are angry. The reason why fans are angry was because there was no salvation. There was
no, it's because it was badly executed.
It was a horribly depressing game. We have Ellie at the end of it, this sweet little girl, well, vicious little murder machine in The Last of Us 1 that we all fell in love with. Like, we all saw her as a daughter figure in this game. And go forward to the next game, our main character is now dead in a brutally horrible way. And she goes on this horrific revenge quest, does a lot of really tismy shit, and then at the end just lets the killer go, loses 2 of her fingers, and can no longer play the guitar anymore, loses the remainder of her family and Tommy.
Patching it through.
I just really like the just like, oh no, let her go, and I'm like, well, I could maybe have done that before I killed these hundreds of people.
Like, it makes zero sense. First of all, just from a story writing perspective, it makes no fucking sense for Ellie to let Abby go at that point.
At that point, yes. You can write a story so that the character or the protagonist decides not to enact revenge for whatever purpose, but you gotta give them a purpose. You gotta
give a reason.
Yes, please.
And just that she's crucified and then gets down, and then they lead out to the bow, and then okay, now I'm gonna kill you.
You would have been great.
Now I'm gonna let you go.
You would have been perfect. She gets
Ellie.
No. It would have been perfect if she gets all the way to the docks or whatever that place is. She looks up at her and then she just walks away. She's like, "Okay, I'm good. You're gonna die. You've been suffering. This is better than what I hoped."
Yeah, that could have been a solid ending, and it would have been absolutely like gut wrenching. Like, the rest of the game's trash. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but that could have been a fucking sucker punch of an ending to see Abby being crucified like that, and then Ellie just goes home,
like the end of The Sopranos. Just like it zooms out. You're like, what? That was it? Like, what? So
that could have been a solid sucker punch.
Yeah, I think
I would have appreciated that ending. The rest of the game's still shit.
Anyway, subtlety is lost on me, but what do I know? I don't know how to write. Let's get on with the video.
You're a YouTuber. You're a 40-year-old YouTuber.
I'm a 40-year-old critic.
Tabernacle.
I don't know.
I mean,
oh god.
I mean, according to a certain sheep, you don't know how to write.
I don't know. I wrote a whole book about it, but that's just all nonsense. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I loved the reviews on your book's Amazon page. It was 5-star, 1-star, 5-star, 1-star. Best book I've ever read. This dude doesn't know shit about writing. The duality of man.
I still have to get my hands on it. I really want to read it, but Amazon doesn't have a place in Switzerland yet, and it's really annoying to get stuff.
Why don't you just build one?
Wait. It's a digital download. You could totally just...
Oh, God, really?
You know, God forbid someone interesting comes in, gives it an honest 4 stars, and writes an essay about it.
Why don't you just build a Amazon warehouse in Switzerland? You have IKEA, don't you?
I've heard that they're making one now. No,
Okay.
but I just didn't realize that it's a
you.
digital download.
Message coming in.
Yeah, well...
Patching it through.
well.
If you want Amazon, build it.
Oh, God.
No, it's not that I want Amazon. I want Smutsbook.
No, you need... No, listen. You're not thinking far enough ahead into the future, all right? Think of all the possibilities that will open up.
No,
for
I
you
can get
if
literally
you
everything
build-
I'd like except for Smutsbook from other shops that are local.
Okay, but think about Amazon getting things from there and all that you could accomplish.
I still get stuff from local shops.
No, you don't.
All
No, you
right,
That's how
Zach,
it works over here.
Thank you for the capitalism approach to life. It's really great. All right, we got 18 minutes on the dot. This is going to take at least 2 hours, I imagine.
I appreciate it that it's 18 minutes even.
Yeah, very, very well organized there, Mr. TL, whatever your name is. What's his
Yeah,
name?
we'll see.
TJFL.
Just to be fair, I will give him credit for that. It seems, just from the timestamp, that it's well organized.
There we go. Okay, let's get to the super chats, and then we're going to get to the video. Ever Jants, bravo, Smudcast, bravo. Oh, God. I'm sure we all remember what that's from. Jake the Surgeon, Joel killed all the zebras.
Joel.
No, Joel is the secret head of Twitter. Joel does butt stuff without telling Tess. Joel spread COVID.
What?
Joel created PTSD. Whoa, that's a lot of Joel. It's a busy guy. He gets around. Does he cure cancer on weekends, but keeps the the zombie virus alive? Some master plan. Anyway, 18 minutes. Let's get going.
No sound? Oh.
The Last of Us 2
Okay.
will be remembered as the most critically acclaimed, divisive experience and boldest title of the PS4 console generation.
Okay, that's a bold statement to start off with.
Yeah, because honestly,
That is a bold statement. God of War 2018. Let's just throw one out there.
There are lots of other games, and to me, I don't see too many people talking about The Last of Us 2 anymore.
Yeah, people fuck, I just brought it up, but people are still talking about God of War 2018 and waiting on that sequel.
Yeah.
People are still talking
Ghost of
about
Tsushima?
Spider-Man,
Ghost of
Witcher,
Tsushima.
Red Dead
I'm
Redemption,
playing Ghost of Tsushima right now.
Bloodborne.
I'm fucking loving it.
Persona 5, Uncharted 4, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
Elden
that's
Ring.
a bold statement, and he would have to qualify that. Maybe he will, but he would have to qualify that statement. I guess bring in some numbers and probably wait a couple years after The Last of Us 2 comes out to be able to make that statement. But
Oh yeah, wait, when did he release this video?
I will tell you right now. June 23rd, 2020. So
Isn't
pretty much
it-
right after it came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's we're off to a bad start.
Since its original back in 2016, I've been dubious about whether we really needed a sequel to The Last of Us 1, as that game achieved a truly satisfying conclusion to a wonderfully thought out emotional journey.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
After spending the past few days with The Last of Us 2 and completing the game, I can tell you wholeheartedly that this is the ultimate swan song to this generation of gaming.
Okay.
Just as the
I don't know why you equate
No,
a sequel
it's
to a
not.
game that is dark and, what is it, a murder simulator as a swan song?
Wow, a lot to unpack with that one.
When you say
I mean,
swan
if the
song,
entire generation had been shit, yeah, I would agree. But
we're talking about lamenting the death of a PS4 console generation, I guess. Because you're so depressed from playing Last of Us 2, you're like, oh, I don't want to play that ever again.
It's just they're looking at the noose in their closet like, today's the day. Yeah, that's a hell of a swan song. Fuck's sake, dude. The Last of Us 1 had a very solid ending. It had a lot of ambiguity. A lot was open to interpretation of, does Ellie believe Joel? Does she trust him at this point? Was she told anything about before going under? Is she gonna forgive Joel? Does she? No, it's just a lot of ambiguity, and I thought that was a very good ending.
Right, but there's nothing wrong with having a sequel to that.
Well, let's have a flashback here.
The comment I heard that really solidifies that, this feels like the third game in a trilogy.
Yeah.
And we didn't get the middle.
Yeah, that's actually very, very good.
Well,
comment.
any problem with time skips that is not anything that there's a time skip, there's like, okay, what's the problem with that? We went ahead 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Okay, what did we miss? Was there anything relevant in that time that could have happened? And a lot of could have happened about Ellie asking questions to Joel, but apparently not.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Never happened.
Pay out the ass for that. It's something. Just Ellie slowly figuring it out. Something.
Like everyone knows about it. She's like, yeah, it's the girl, but we don't know. Maybe we don't know. She didn't tell anyone. No, okay. Nothing. No possible conflict at all. No slip of the tongue. Nothing. Just no.
God damn it.
Also, I still am so incredibly curious. How do they get fuel?
How do they get petroleum? Yeah.
I just want to know, how do they get fuel? That's just the first time I played the sequence in the village and I saw there's a truck or something. I was like, how do they get fuel?
Well, doesn't fuel go bad after like 2 years?
Yeah.
Well, it evaporates, but even with like other forms of fuel, like kerosene, you still need like oil of some kind. You need some sort of carbon product.
Maybe they learned how to make because there are engines that can work on very different things, and there are certain engines that you can run on oil, and if you really want to, they can run it. But you need two special things. So maybe they invented an engine for trucks and everything.
Right. If they're making alcohol, that means they have.
Blow my brains out.
So like I don't know if you guys.
Are you okay? What's up, man?
Oh no, I can't stop hearing people talk about trucks.
Oh.
It just won't stop.
It's an American thing, I guess. I don't know.
What?
You okay? What's happening?
Someone owns a Ford. Everyone owns a Ford. It's stupid.
Everyone's a truck. They're trucks. They're everywhere.
Well, no, the idea is that if you have like a distillation apparatus to make refined whatever, that means they have beer or some other compound for food reasons. But that's like a luxury. Like beer is not a necessity, but of course you'd brew beer. That's just natural for humanity to take vegetation, boil it, reduce it, clean it, whatever, and distill it. So if you have a distillation apparatus, you're like, okay, now we need fuel. How do we get that? We will either use plant material, animal material, and distill
the priority of beer and fuel.
Well, yeah, of course.
Beer first, then gas.
Well, whatever you got on hand, you're not going to start making an oil rig, right? You can't just start digging into the ground. Oh, look, we got coal.
Why not?
Like, oh, okay,
Why
really?
not? I'll make one.
If I'm not completely wrong on my history, during the Middle Ages, they very often drank beer because it was easier to get beer than clean water.
Yes, it's purified. So when you use alcohol or any sort of process for fermentation, it kills bacteria, and distillation purifies it. But again, beer is a lot more complicated than whiskey or wine or other things. So if you can make beer, you can make other things, but you still got to get the resources like crude oil or sweet oil or whatever flavor you've got.
Sweet oil.
To distill into a particular flammable liquid that can be used as a fuel source. So kerosene or petrol. Petrol is very specific. That would be kind of hard to manufacture just because there's so many recipes, and those recipes are known by only a few in America, and they're not sharing the patent. The
recipe.
Yeah, there's a certain recipe for certain flavors of petrol. So that's why Canada ships all its crude oil to the States.
Petrol.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Petrol tasting.
We have cherry petrol, vanilla petrol, diet petrol, petrol zero.
It's not
petrol original.
I actually have a few cousins who are engineers, and they know that one of them actually works for a petrol company, and they have their own secrets they can't share or recipes they don't know, no one else knows, and it's patents by the states. That's why we don't have any refineries or large scale refineries, at least in Canada. We pump all our oil down to the States. So anyway,
message coming.
Let's keep going.
Alex,
thank you, Alex. They were giving it away for free in some countries. Oh, just giving it away.
Giving what away?
I'm assuming it's crude oil, but I have no idea. Oh boy. Anyway, let's get back to.
Why make beer when you can make bigot sandwiches?
Yeah. You can make alcohol or ethyl alcohol out of like corn, but that would take a long time.
Oh, philosopher, are you familiar with weaponry?
Yes.
And like swords and stuff.
Yes.
Someone, Jormungandr just posted katana better than golf club. What is your opinion on a katana?
It's actually the one weapon I'm most familiar with. It's very quick and very precise, and so extremely good at getting into small spaces like underneath the arms or the neck. So if you are very precise, know what you're doing, you can kill somebody very easily and very quickly with a katana.
It's almost rapier-like in a way.
Yeah, no, because I have that's the one sword I actually have several years of study in.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
I've always been of the.
Sorry?
What sword are you referring to?
Katana.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm getting into European swords more and more, and I have some experience with those, but not too much.
I'm fairly familiar, mostly familiar with European swords. I did not anything special or any official training, but some HEMA training under my old blacksmith buddy that I apprenticed under for a while, and that's where I learned most of my knowledge about European swords.
Yeah,
I know
and
almost nothing about katanas other than Japan doesn't have a whole lot of good quality iron or steel. So what they would do is the most pure steel that they could refine was the edge, and the spine of the katana was basically big iron. And that's why it gets the curve, because when you cool it, it tends to curve.
Well, there are 7 different styles. There's some
Somebody's been watching their Shadowversity videos.
there's actually one smithing method that is called Muramasa, because they believe that the legendary bladesmith Muramasa used a technique which uses, I think, 7 different layers of steel, 7 different kinds of steel in the sword, and his blades were supposedly so good, and they tried to remake them, and they actually are incredibly good. They were so good, the legend was that whenever you draw it out of its sheath, it needs to draw blood. Because it looks so sharp that you want to test it on someone.
All right, that wasn't creepy at all. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a video about The Last of Us. But golf clubs work if you want to bash someone's head in.
Okay. Alex Halo, thanks again. I mean, they were giving the game away for free with the purchase of any Switch game in some countries. They really didn't like it? What? The Last of Us 2 is on Switch?
No. If you buy a Switch, game, you get Last of Us 2 copy for the PS4 for free.
What?
That was the case in some some countries.
Does that make any sense? So I'm gonna go get a Nintendo game, boom, and then they give away The Last of Us 2 for PS4.
Please take them. We don't want them
Oh
anymore.
my god, that sounds like
I've
an
heard
Anthem story, not a Last of Us 2 story.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I've heard similar stuff in Germany that if you buy a PS4 game, you get Last of Us 2 for free with it in some stores.
Wow.
They did similar things with Fallout 76, where you will get it for free if you bought a console.
Yeah. I remember that story. Okay, that makes sense. But the thing is, that's a PC game, right? Not a different console platform. That's kind of weird. Like you walk into a VHS store, here's some Betamax. Like, what? What the hell? I don't know.
Wow, you are old.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get going.
The original PlayStation 3 back in 2013.
Wow,
with the
kid, you
critics and
suck.
fan base being so divided on whether this game is good or not, I'm sure many of you are wondering if it's even worth giving this game your money, or whether it's just a
It is.
Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, chat. No, it's not. That's it.
All right.
Naughty Dog riding on the success of the original title. I'm going to do my best to explain to you why not only you must play this game, but also why the fanbase is so upset about this sequel and whether.
Okay, so it would be nice to play the game, or you maybe possibly play it in your free time. You must play this game. Okay, there's no other question. It's just no. If you have game console, play game.
Thou shalt play Last of Us 2.
Consume!
it is just a. But to do that, I do have to reveal some things which Naughty Dog chose to deem as spoilers, although in my eyes I think are key elements of the game that are imperative to know about during your purchasing decisions. But
That's an interesting statement that Naughty Dog chose to deem as spoilers.
Yeah, if you look at their marketing, they're very particular at what they show and don't show. So
The marketing was blatantly dishonest.
that's kind of the point, yeah.
Like the one scene where they had Joel's model in there, and the cutscene in the game is actually the... What's his name?
Tommy?
No, the Asian guy.
Yeah.
The sperm donors. The sperm donor.
Sperm boy, yeah.
Domer.
Donor. No, it was actually him in the game, but in the advertisement they made, well, the one trailer, they made it look like Joel was saying, you think I would let you be alone in this or something like that?
Right.
So
That
it
never happens.
made it seem like it was an adventure with Joel, but in the actual game, that scene is with someone else.
Right.
Oh
So
my
there's
God.
also a scene where she's playing the guitar by herself in some sort of bedroom, and there's someone walking through the house. There's all this, death and destruction throughout the house. And it's Joel saying, you ready to go or whatever. That's like there's trailers like that for other video games where they have scenes that never happen, or they're versions of a scene, and they're pre-rendered so they look very high quality. That I can sort of forgive because it's supposed to appeal to whatever the whole point.
Thank you, YouTube, for letting me know Smud is online right now. I didn't know that, YouTube. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Yokai, Smud's online right now.
Alrighty.
No, but this was literally a scene that does happen in the game, but with a different character.
That's garbage.
Yeah. And they changed the look of Joel, like his model for that.
Yeah.
For some of the because there were flashback scenes, so they made Joel look younger. Or was it older? I can't remember what was it. But it was
for the trailer, they made him look older specifically for that scene.
Yeah.
A scene which he doesn't appear in the game.
Right. Anyway, lots of things of why they did that and why that's bad, but I'm not going to get into that. Joe Crazy, thank you. Puts hands on shoulder. You must play. You must play this game. That's what this guy is saying.
No, it's the Bane voice of.
You must play this game, Batman.
You must play this game, Batman.
I don't want this game anywhere near Batman.
Do you feel in charge?
Why would you think it would trigger his PTSD?
Why did you say that name? Joel, why did you say that name?
No, father figure getting killed.
No, not again.
Anyways.
Will be towards the last of the video, where I will be discussing the story. I'll avoid major elements in the plot, but just be aware that I will talk about some of the core gameplay experience, which I believe we should have been told prior to the launch of this game.
Okay, so he's not going to cover the story first? I feel like that's important context to cover story elements and then discuss the why.
Well, he just said that he wished the marketing or before the game came out that the plot reveals came out or whatever. And I'm like, wait a second. That's not good marketing technique. Although we did have a leak. We did have a leak of the story months before. So
imagine Neil Druckmann standing on your TV, like just on the TV screen, just goes, "The Last of Us 2, Joel fucking dies," and then just cuts to black. Like, oh.
That would not go over well as an idea. No, it would be like a drunken, rambling mess. You're like, what did he say? He's just kidding around.
TJFL, drop me a comment and make sure to give me a subscribe if you enjoy the video.
What?
And this is my review of The Last of Us 2.
Alright.
For all the praise the original Last of Us got, I've always argued that the core gameplay was clunky and repetitive. Whenever I've gone back to play The Last of Us, I found it such a chore to enjoy the gameplay, but was always carried through to the end by the amazing characters and story.
So, I agree. It was clunky, and the story is what carries that game. Or more or less the characters. Because the story is very, very bland. But the relationship with Ellie and Joel is what carries it.
Last of Us 1 suffered from a very linear level design, with little to no choice as to what areas you can explore. The gunplay felt clunky and difficult to use, and the environmental puzzles were all variations of the same thing, which most of the time involved picking up a ladder, placing it, crossing it, and doing it over and over again until the game ends. The same can be said about the combat situations. You'll enter a room with carefully placed boxes for cover, in which a dozen or so enemies come running at you, and you have to decide whether to try and deal with them with the clunky shooting mechanics, or the satisfying yet repetitive hand-to-hand combat.
Fucking drop him! Oh, shit! Come here!
Thankfully, Last of Us 2 addresses all these issues head-on, and completely revamps the core gameplay loop into something which is truly challenging, with a high payoff and a constant feeling of unpredictability to.
Okay, so truly challenging. What does that mean? Are there no difficulty levels? Is it the level design? Is it the AI? What are you talking about?
They address some things, but I think also other things they made just way stranger. And I think a large part has to do with the animation, how they blend with each other. The animation of you and the enemy, which means that certain times it feels like your input isn't ready because the animation isn't ready to be played yet, because other animations haven't finished. And so sometimes it's not like, it almost feels like you're in a interactive cutscene. It's so strange to describe it. It doesn't feel like a game with like Dark Souls where you have his boxes and you can dodge through stuff and everything. It seems so heavily animation based that it feels so weird to play to me.
Well, I would imagine that the larger environments make linearity different, but it's still a linear experience. You're still going from A to B. You just have now two paths to get there, or an open field, or more objects to hide behind. But he says it's more challenging. So I'm like, isn't that an aspect of AI and difficulty level and how good you are at a game?
Well, for me, it was more challenging because I couldn't figure out how the goddamn dodge works.
Oh.
I know that the Resident Evil 3 remake has that same problem with the dodge.
Yeah.
One criticism of this guy's video he showed a mechanic of grappling and holding somebody up as a human shield, and then in The Last of Us 1, and then he showed Ellie doing it to a zombie in The Last of Us 2, saying it's completely different. When that's basically one for one the same thing.
Also, I find actually gameplay is almost pretty much exactly the same. It's just better animations are better, but in a way also make the gameplay slightly stranger to play.
Yes. So it's a poor choice of examples to use there. Yeah.
I think that what happens with these games with that, a lot of these newer games is, this is just what I suspect, I don't know. But I think that what might be happening is that the models are like, because they have a lot of different filler frames, so you can't always tell what's a keyframe and what's a killer frame. In fact, a lot of the time you can't tell at all in these newer games. That's how cinematic they are. And I think that sometimes the filler frames are accounting for the character model wanting to snap somewhere because of collision data. Like, I think the filler frames adapt to that, and when the filler frames adapt to it, I think a side effect is that it could delay your input.
Yeah, but one thing you also notice if you watch Molder's playthrough in Melee, you are snapped to your enemy. And so sometimes in his playthrough he wanted to test the systems. And so he just literally, there was a pillar between him and the enemy. He just literally started smashing against the pillar. He hit two times, teleported to the enemy and
I
hit.
worded that wrong. It's not that
No, I know what you meant. It meant something different.
Well, let me explain it. I can actually explain it. It's not that it delays your input. Rather, what happens is it'll, like if you have like a quick time event, where it's a recurring one, it's like a recurring one that happens in the open world where you can dodge something. Sometimes I think that the filler movements of the character models that are trying to adapt to the environment, they make it inconsistent when that button prompt comes up. So it's not that it delays the input, it's that you're pressing it at the same time, but the game is taking longer or is more quickly having the button prompt come up, or just expecting you to press it if it's a game that doesn't have the prompt show up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. That's exactly how it feels when playing.
Yeah, and in games like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, you don't have that because that's when they make that a priority in that.
Yeah.
As a normie, can you explain killer frames versus filler frames?
So I think it would be a lot better if like somebody like Shiny explained it, or maybe Smud can explain it better than me.
Are you talking about animation?
Yeah.
In relation to gameplay, or what do you mean, like over animation?
In relation to keyframes versus filler frames when a character model is being moved.
Well, a keyframe is just a frame that a animator has for reference for whatever pose, like say the extension of a fist. So you'd have the start of the frame or the start of the animation cycle, and that would be the fighting stance that you fall back on, so that when you get to the end of your animation cycle, it's all lines up well. And then you have whatever extension, so the fist is fully extended, that would be another keyframe, and that's how you measure it and how you track it properly. So it's just easier for an animator. When you look at a keyframe, it means nothing. It means nothing when the finished result in real time. So it depends on whether the animation falls back to the original pose, so it makes it look seamless. So some fighting games, you see like the guy extend the fist, and it just snaps back to the pose, without actually having a filler of the winding back of the fist or the dropping of the arm. So that might just be for technical reasons for the artist not to draw because they got other things to do, or the designer never thought to do it. So you can really notice that though with games from even in the PS1 era, that they take the time to draw or animate the extra frames for whatever animation cycle you're doing.
I know that in that game Dragon Ball FighterZ, I know that they wanted it to look like the anime, so they either disabled or they removed filler frames so that it would look choppy like the show.
The one thing I know from hand-drawn animation is that like keyframes are for Zack are the key, for example, key aspects you want to have, like go back example of the hand extending. For example, maybe a keyframe might be the hand closed, hand half extended, and hand fully extended, so fully open. and those would be 3 keyframes, and then the filler frames would be the frames in between to make it look smooth.
Yeah.
So the
Now,
image
here's
is in
why-
between half
Sorry,
open
go
and
ahead
fully
and finish.
open.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good
Yeah.
point. That's a definition. That's fine.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought you were finished. But here's why this issue doesn't occur in fighting games. It's because of hitboxes. Fighting games use hitboxes, whereas a lot of these sandbox or three-dimensional story-oriented cinematic games don't. They rely a little bit more on having more fluent animation, so they rely a lot more on things like filler frames and stuff. Or at least I would suspect
It
so.
depends how it's
And,
coded, though.
It does depend how it's coded.
Usually they tie a hitbox to an appendage, so like a fist. So the fist will be the hitbox, but usually in the beginning they never did that because they didn't have 3D animation. They just used sprites.
Are you referring to fighting games or the 3D games or
any
just everything?
any game before 3D, like before PS1 was a big deal. We're talking about, you would code, like, don't even think of the rendering of a sprite. Just think of terms of an object on the screen that has a hitbox that doesn't use 3D math. And how would you determine your punch or your bullet would hit that object? So there's lots of ways to do hit detection. And
yeah, because a lot of the time what they'll do is the character model that you're seeing is just a visual.
Yeah, exactly.
But what's actually grabbing things is invisible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the character model is merely attached to the object.
There's lots of ways to code a game. Nowadays, it's pretty much standard with 3D vector math and how bullets work and how they track that, point detection, all these other wonderful tracking methods for things that happen in milliseconds. So I would have to actually look at a specific example where it's done poorly, but like most 3D shooters or third-person shooters do the same math. I remember actually making a hit detection box from scratch when I was in school using the tokamak physics engine. And I was normalizing all my vectors, but the problem is my detection was only based off right angles. So if I was shooting you from a 1 degree angle, it wouldn't detect, but it had to be like perfectly aligned, 90 degrees. So, or 0 degrees. Anyway, let's get back.
Graphics are what you've come to expect, and it's truly spectacular to see just how powerful the PS4 is, even at the end of its life. There are a good variety of weapons you have in your arsenal, from rifles and bows to bomb traps and baseball bats. This game nails the accuracy needed to take on your enemies, as well as giving weight to
that detection. that AI was awfully slow on the pickup there.
Also, is it just me or does the shooting feel absolutely awful?
It looks clunky.
I haven't played it. I've just watched streams of it.
To me, it's just so sluggish. Like, even if you set the sensitivity high, it just feels so strange to shoot in this game. It's just like, I can hit pretty well in most shooters, even third person, first person, I'm fine. With this one, I had so much trouble hitting enemies.
Final blow. Now, yes, the gore in the game is very graphic, and sometimes even unsettling to carry out. But it is not only necessary to make each kill feel meaningful, but it also helps the fun.
Thank you for showing the hole where the dude's face used to be. I appreciate it.
But also, it doesn't make, well, at least to me, it never made any kill feel meaningful.
Yeah, as far as a kill feeling meaningful, I don't know how you're supposed to do that other than have it be a specific character that you have history with, or a character that is built in some way.
Well, not necessarily that. It could also be a random character, but it has to have like for it to make meaningful, a certain impact story-wise. So it could be just a random person, but for example, it's the character you're playing is the first person they ever killed, so it has a massive impact on them. So that can be a very meaningful kill.
I am subtly confused. Why the heck would a gore level of detail, like, I don't know, like look at Revengeance with a katana slicing the crap out of something like that brings me a lot of meaning when I can slice and vivisection this man 30 different ways. It's like that provides resolution, that provides visuals, but doesn't provide meaning. I don't need good graphics for meaning.
In his defense, I think he's referring to the brutality of what you're doing.
I guess
If I'm being generous, but it's not. He's just not translating that very well.
But that's like saying we need a Punisher video game to be extremely gory because the Punisher kills very bloody. It's like, okay, yes, visually that would make sense, but not per bullet. Like, this bullet means a lot when I kill this man with it, but then when I put 50 in him, it's the same meaning or more meanings because it's more gore.
It's 50 times the meaning.
50 times.
That man meant a lot to me as he is turned into meat soup.
Yeah. So
I find the gore in this game a bit ridiculous. It just at some point I was like, why does this have to be so fucking gory? Like, so brutal and so extensive with the animations and everything. Like, it just kind of makes you like, well, it seems like you want me to feel bad for killing to make it so brutal, but I can't do anything apart from killing in this game.
Yeah, they're forcing you into a corner and then saying, man, sucks to be in that corner.
yeah, like there's no
I guess kind of, but fuck you.
There's no what's the word, gameplay diversity like we see in other games with like Metal Gear or Deus Ex, where you have lethal non-lethal takedowns.
No, you can kill. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, you just murder everyone.
Like, if they had like non-lethal takedowns, I would be like, okay, yeah, sure. When you do kill, it's like awfully brutal, so you would tend, like, as a person with feelings and empathy, you would be like, okay, I'm gonna go the more non-lethal route because when I murder somebody, it's fucking brutal.
Well, not even thinking of the reasons or values thereof that you want to play such a game, but look at the actual gameplay aspect to say, okay, I'm not going to take any lethal weaponry. I'm going to control my inventory or whatever, and my mentality is to be as stealthy and as sneaky as possible, not to hurt anyone, not to alert anyone, and that's
not
what you did.
Not trying to leave a trail of bodies.
That was the mentality of the player because they have that option and that freedom, which was great in Deus Ex. Even though Deus Ex, story-wise, wasn't fantastic, it wasn't brilliant. It had its moments, but the level design combined with these elements of gameplay and fighting allow the player to do different tactics and strategies. So, in this, it's a murder sim. You are butchering everything you come across. And to see, she's 17? How old is Ellie? She's young. She is like a little girl compared to half of these people. And they are just getting wasted by her.
Oh yeah, this little 90-pound girl is just annihilating these 200-pound men. It's like, But then she gets her ass beat when she tries to fight Abby.
Yeah, well, that makes more sense.
Who is basically a 200-pound man.
Yeah.
Immersed in this grounded
one thing I did want to say, though, in regards to gore in video games. I'm playing through Ghost of Tsushima right now. Chat, if you spoil anything for me, I'll fucking murder you in Minecraft. But I appreciate that not every sword slice is like just cleaving dudes open. Every once in a while, you'll see a dude's arm lop off.
Yeah.
But mostly, it's just blood and no gashes or anything. So because I don't like a whole lot of gore. That's just my thing. So I did appreciate that it wasn't super graphic in that aspect, but the fighting is very, very good. And Ghost of Tsushima, it's fucking rock solid.
Japanese armor is effective. That's why they used it.
So Zach, it's a good game. They spoiled it for you.
I'll murder you in Minecraft.
Okay.
Let's take you to the Nether and then destroy the portal.
I've seen some comments taking issue with the level of detail that this game displays in terms of gore and murder. But it's really no different to what we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2. And nobody
It is very different. It is very different.
Very different. As far as I remember, Red Dead Redemption 2 usually keeps you rather far away from the gore. Well, first off, and it doesn't have too much of it.
Again, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You don't. It's like every once in a while, like if you point blank somebody in the face with a shotgun, yeah, they're not gonna have a face anymore. But it's not like just everybody is a blood bag. It's just often just a mist of blood.
Well,
yeah,
and
we're talking about two different games.
Yeah, you slaughtered an entire town, but it's just part of the gameplay because it's Rockstar.
Right, but that's not the whole game. Like the whole game in both Ellie's and Abby's experience is murder fest, whereas Red Dead Redemption 2 is open world exploration.
Well, 90% horse riding simulator.
Right. So you're not just opening fire on everyone.
At the end, you just cry. There is no more horse riding simulator. You just fucking cry.
Yeah, it's like saying they have this level of gore if you want it. You don't need it. In Last of Us 2, everything is gore.
Yeah.
Which I don't appreciate. That's a subjective thing. I do not
Also,
appreciate
one thing
gore.
I always I found very funny, isn't it the clicker model that has exposed tits?
Really?
Gross.
That looks super weird, and it's just like, I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. Weren't they super... Wait. I just find it so weird that it's this game that has that kind of character model.
Gross.
Yeah.
An eye. So I think these comments should just.
Thank
really
you
be
for
falling on deaf
hovering
ear.
on the body. Appreciate it, dude. Oh my god, he's actually pulling up.
It's really no different to what we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2. And nobody even batted an eye at that.
Oh my
I
god.
think these comments should just really be falling on deaf ears.
Okay, so if you guys have any criticism of Red Dead Redemption 2 in comparison to Last of Us 2, just don't say them. Don't talk about them. You're not helping anyone.
Like, I don't know what this is supposed to accomplish. What him drawing a comparison between Red Dead Redemption 2 versus the
we're
Last
gonna
of Us
find
2.
out.
They're two very different games, very different stories by two completely
Because
different
Red
companies.
Dead 2 was very well received.
Message coming
Yeah.
in.
Well,
Maybe it's a good fucking game.
The only thing that I could technically take as comparison between Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Last of Us 1 is
Message coming in.
interesting story,
Patch it
cool
through.
story, and clunky gameplay. But
It does have very clunky gameplay, but after a little while, you develop some
Yeah,
memory
no.
for it.
I love Red Dead 2.
Oh, it's outstanding, and the best part is you don't play as a woman.
You can in online.
We don't talk about online.
Here is Alex Halo. Meanwhile, I'm playing Minecraft better than Last of Us 2. I forgot how long it takes to drain the water from a sea monument to make a farm.
I haven't played Minecraft in so long, so
Good luck, man.
Yeah,
Same.
sea monument. Okay.
Do you
cool.
kill
I
any
guess that's
fish in the
thing now.
process, or is it like a totally non-violent procedure? I don't know what theme we're going here with the chat log, but okay. Completely normal behavior in Minecraft to drain water. Okay. Jake the Surgeon. Blood makes you mature, guys. I don't know. It makes you turn into a crazy murderer spree, but.
RDR2, the game where you can serve the suffragette a knuckle sandwich.
That's a great comment.
That's such a good comment.
On the run for days now. If you could help me with these shackles, I just might have a chance.
All right.
Not with the shotgun.
No, don't. You fucking retard. Why would you do... Yeah, okay, so this goes back to what we were saying. So earlier, Ellie slashed a person with an axe and shot somebody in the face, and they had a hole where their face used to be. This dude took a 12-gauge double barrel to a dude's kneecap and blew the leg off and went, see, it's the same.
Also, if you aim at the chain, you destroy the chain, and the guy thanks you and runs away.
Yeah, like there's an option here. Like you literally just take your pistol, shoot the chain breaks, and then he's like, "Ah, sick, thanks, yeah."
I'm trying
thanks, dog,"
to.
and he runs off.
I'm trying to remember like the first time we saw gore like that, like with Soldier of Fortune, those kinds of games where the whole point is to shoot guys in multiple body parts for the sake of detail. You can do stuff like that in games, but again, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a totally different experience.
Yeah, but the gore is also completely different because the gore in The Last of Us Part 2 is very they try to make it super realistic. And like if you stab someone in the back, they even have like desperate faces as blood is spurting out and they're just wriggling in. It's very, very disturbing. It's as weird as this may sound, the example of gore that he showed from Red Dead 2 is almost cleaner.
Yeah, It is very clean, and I'll tell you something. I don't play games for realism. I don't want to see the person I just stabbed in the spine to be wriggling on the ground, lamenting the fact that their legs don't work anymore, and going, oh God, please kill me, please. No, I would very much just like to stab the person, self kill, and just move on.
No,
please.
I think
don't.
that's shit. I'll be honest. I think that shit's awesome. Like, but here's the thing here. Here's the thing here.
Patching it through.
We should be getting people wriggling in pain because this is supposed to be a horror game. They should be screaming in pain because a zombie's eating them, not because a little girl is murdering them. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I play games for it. I play games for escapism.
It's what's causing the gore that's the problem. It shouldn't be a little girl. It should be a zombie. It should be zombies killing people, and you should be the girl trying to save them. You should be the dude trying to save him.
Well, it's fascinating.
Why don't you play as Joel? Like, what is this?
Well, no. The idea behind the criticism of the first game he was mentioning was everything's so linear, and you can only do a few things. And now the world is much bigger.
Let me play as Joel. And have people screaming because the zombies are tearing their arms and legs off, and then I'm like, oh, I feel bad for you because I'm trying to save you. It's really fucked up, and I like it though. But yeah, let me try to save you. Like Resident Evil, like Resident Evil 4. Most of the game you play as Leon, and then there's like 1 or 2 sections where you play as the girl just as a bonus that were experimental. But here it's like, come on, I want to be Joel.
But also,
why do you want to be Joel?
The map is only open for like the first half of Ellie's story, and the rest of the game it's basically as linear as the first one.
Right. Lots of puzzle jumping.
Very interesting. He doesn't hold the same criticisms and doesn't have the same criteria for both games.
But the gameplay is
Fire
roughly the
Emblem
same.
needs to show the bodies of the people you kill on the battlefield. Oh yeah, I agree.
If they
as long
allow,
as they don't, as long as I'm still allowed to occupy the space the body is on.
Like if they allowed other mechanics like non-lethal takedowns, I think people would have a much different experience, much better experience because they wouldn't be traumatized by all this horror that they're forced to cause.
I mean, there are loads of also kills that you just can't do. Like, well, basically, there's no interaction apart from killing that you can basically do with the enemies.
Patching it through.
Smud, you just got a great super chat, by the way.
And to be very detailed with the charred corpses of anyone you kill with fire attacks. Yeah, it's a good idea.
All right, let's keep going here with the super chats. Fran Mataraki, The Last of Us 2 is comparable to Red Dead Redemption 2 because Abby and most of the cowboys would fit in great at Ram Ranch.
Yes.
All right.
Look, nobody other than SJWs would be complaining about gore in a game like this if it was the zombies causing it. That's the thing. It's because a little girl's doing it. That's why people think it's weird.
Worse, it's a little girl that we're already attached to.
Well, I also think it's because you, the player, have to do so much of it, and you have no other choice but to do it.
Yeah, that too. It's like it's wrong for specific reasons. You know,
do you remember
so
when
comparing
Ellie
it to Red
kills
Dead
the
is
cannibal?
a poor thing because in Red Dead you're playing as a cowboy who's kind of a mercenary. So I think it's a little different.
As an outlaw on the run from the law.
Okay, Jake the Surgeon. Joel invented child support. Jake the Surgeon. Joel is the Senate. Jake the Surgeon. Joel convinced Lucas to sell Star Wars.
Joel is the Senate.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Thanks, Jake. Joel shot the sheriff and the deputy. That's great. Okay. Let's just mosey on down here.
I appreciate that Punish Berserker showed up at the mention of Ram Ranch.
Not only will you find yourself facing up against the iconic clickers, but you'll also have to deal with new enemies such as stalkers.
What the fuck was that animation?
Yeah, like what the...
What just happened?
This dude's not very good at this game.
Was she crawling under the garage?
Drake the Duelist. Joel shot the sheriff and the deputy.
Smut already read that one.
Did he?
Yeah, pay attention.
It was that good.
I didn't actually hear it.
I think everyone's doing Joel in the credits, or sorry, the chat. So it's like,
you just got another golden super chat, by the way.
Joel is why my parents divorced. Come on, Jake. Did you play Last of Us 2 and do something really bad? Everyone's
DC cards, no, stop.
No, you delete that. Joel was the tumor that ended McCain.
God.
No.
Joel founded the Ku Klux Klan. Joel invented death.
Message coming in.
Oh God, Joel stopped the captain.
Joel is why my dog died.
See, what's funny about that
Oh,
is...
the message got retracted.
Well, no, the funny thing about that is those kind of comments do explain why Ellie did what she did. So Ellie did kill dogs.
Joel made me sterile. Joel killed this cat. Joel killed this chat. Joel caused COVID.
Joel is COVID.
No.
Joel kneeled on Floyd. You delete that. You delete that.
Joel killed Franz Ferdinand.
Oh God, no! Joel killed Franz Ferdinand.
All right.
Oh God, Joel kills the Kingdom Hearts story.
Oh my fucking God! Joel directed the last season.
Anyway,
I believe it.
Let's keep going.
There's another super chat.
Suggests stalk you silently in the darkness and very rarely face you head on.
What do you mean?
As well as a new faction of humans called Scars, which again are quiet in their approach, but even more deadly than your typical clickers.
Am I the only one who finds the formulation "a new faction of humans" a bit strange?
A new faction of
It
humans.
depends. The context of this, was it the Scars? Yeah. But they're not
Message
called the
coming
Scars, are they? What are they called for
Patching it
real?
through.
They're the religious cult, right?
So I think they call themselves Seraphites.
Seraphites, there you go.
If I remember
Message coming
correctly.
in. Patching it through.
So the idea that people would congregate in a different fashion and or a different hierarchy or government is fine. I see nothing wrong with that. It's how
Message coming in.
and what
Patching
kind
it
of
through.
person would sign up for that? Like you need purity of a caste system or to disregard technology and all that other nonsense. Like that's strange. So there would have to be darn good reasons for that. We don't get enough story on them, but you know, if you want to have factions, that's fine in your story. There's nothing wrong with having groups.
I think what a little bit confused me about the formulation of his in the video, like a faction of humans, it almost makes it sound they could be like other factions of not humans. And then I'm like, wait, what factions would that be?
Oh.
It just sounded like a super strange formulation for me personally.
There's nothing wrong with post-apocalyptic worlds to have groups that are strange and bizarre and this and that, like we saw in New Vegas. But New Vegas is much more nuanced and not as serious as what we see in The Last of Us. So, little different style of storytelling there. Anyway, Joe Crazy, again. Joel founded Guantanamo Bay. Okay. Jake the Surgeon. I made Druckmann bite that pillow, made him cry because I went dry.
Okay.
You had to read that. Somebody paid money for you to read that out loud.
That is a thing that someone wanted me to say. Yeah, that's all I can get out of that. Alex Halo. Joel is why Nepgear kills all her friends and family. Alex, are you like missing the space bar there? What's happening there? What? Who is Nepgear? Is that
a character from Neptunia.
Oh, of course it is. Of course. Thank you, Alex. There's that one guy. He has to say something about
Message
the
coming
thing
in.
he loves.
Patching it through.
Oh, dear. And Jake. Joel replaced Owen Hart's harness at Over the Edge 1999. Well, that's a... Wow.
There's
That's an obscure reference.
Joel... Joel invented technology. Joel is Maggie Mae Fish's biological father. Joel created racial profiling. Joel killed George Floyd. Joel leads the crab people. Joel harassed Anita Sarkeesian. Oh my fucking god.
Jeez.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Chat, you're spicy today, ain't
What
you?
what is happening? Why-
Oh god! I think it goes back to the run. Was it just right to say in this video that Joel is to blame for literally every death in Last of Us 2? I think
Really?
that's what he said, and that became a massive meme
Oh,
as Joel caused literally
Just
everything.
right, you son of a. Oh god! All right.
Chat is spicy today.
Jill Crazy. Joel gave Chris Benoit performance enhancers. This is.
My god.
These are references I do not know, sir.
Joel, more like Joelrus Lupercal.
Jeez. Anyways, I think we should go with the video.
Let's just go. With or without Joel, okay?
Thanks to the game's more open-ended level design, you can tackle each combat scenario with an approach which suits your playstyle, whether that be stealth or guns blazing. More on the open-ended structure. Naughty Dog flirts with the idea of an open world even more with The Last of Us 2, with a few segments allowing full exploration of vast open areas where you can choose to try and scavenge for more supplies, take out infected, or even learn more about the people who died via heartfelt letters dotted across the world.
Okay, so that's interesting, but why is that relevant? When you have all this stuff in a big, big world and you find all these random things that may not be related to a quest, and I'm assuming these are characters you have to kill on a plot? So you find letters from people you're about to kill? Do you think someone who's seeking revenge cares about this or that person's family or this or that person's relationships? It's like, no, you're just a target. You're in the way and you're going to die. They don't want to know the details, whether or not they were a good family man or a good mother or a good son or daughter. That's what a revenge-seeking person would not care about unless they're trying to find them, and those pieces of information will allow them to seek them down or seek them out.
You are in my way. If you don't move, you will die.
He mentioned the notes being super heartfelt and everything. Internet historian, when he did his playthrough, he started a game that he would stop reading a note as soon as a cliche would show up. And cliches are like, I'm all alone, I'm out of food, I'm about to die, all that kind of stuff. I think he managed to finish like 3 notes in the game. Because literally almost all of them are so cliche or survival. Oh my god, the enemies are closing in, I'm about to die.
I'm starving.
Almost every note is like that.
I'm thirsty. I'm scared.
In the deep.
Yeah, it's just all of it. It's just like that. Like at some point you go like, okay, another one of those. All right.
One thing I will. Ghost of Tsushima is on my mind right now because I just like 30 minutes ago quit playing it to come on to here. But the notes that you'll find in Ghost of Tsushima, one very interesting storyline that I was able to find through a series of, I think it was about 6 notes, was this family that was basically escaping a town that was burning. And the sister was holding her little brother's hand. She got bumped into, let him go for a second, and he was just fucking gone. Like, she could not find him, but she was with the rest of her family, and they had to leave. They had to leave their son behind, and the sister left notes all along their trail showing, this is where we're going to be. If you find this note, this is where we will be at this time. Please get here. And then finally, I think like the last 3 were like, there's a way off the island. We can get out of here. There's some smugglers that found a way past the Mongol ships. And then it's implied at the end of that storyline that the entire family just fucking died because there was no escape. and that the brother never really shows up. I think it was very interesting. Just that small little story that you could have written a book about, but just in 6 notes established a way better storyline than The Last of Us 2.
Where was this? Sorry.
Yeah, just because you mentioned notes. Notes in the game aren't very good.
Where is this though? I don't remember where you mentioned this from.
What do you mean?
Sorry?
Where was this from? Zach?
Sorry, what now?
Didn't he say they were from Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, he said the notes
sorry.
were in Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, okay, cool. I was just like, whoa, that sounds great. Oh, where's it from? Great.
Smud, if you haven't played Ghost, you must play it.
I'm gonna get there.
You
No,
must.
Coming in.
I do like the Japanese flares they have for.
Oh, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
What I've gone through so far, and I predicted a way. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I predicted that it was going to go in a certain direction. I'd be like, it would be very interesting if this game went in this direction instead of the standard just like hero story or whatever, or like what standard one-man army story. And it did, and it's very interesting. So I think you'll pick up on it.
All right, I got to read some more Joel comments. Joel wrote Mein Kampf. Thanks, Joel.
Wait, what?
Joel was General Butt Naked's inspiration. What? Butt Naked's inspiration?
No, not that last one. No.
Oh.
Joel flew the plane into North Tower.
No.
Oh boy. What has become of? I haven't been spending too much attention on chat, but I've noticed it's not normal.
I can't. Aura Master, I love you. The perfect use of emojis.
What is that? Ghost of Sushi? Is that 2 pieces of sushi on top of each other?
Coming in.
I like that.
That
Aura
is
Master,
great.
Aura Master, you're a god.
It could be because I miss sushi, but yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Jake, again, thank you. Joel gave Freddie Mercury AIDS.
Why?
Wow.
Why are we here? Just to suffer.
Thanks, Jake. That's great. Okay.
Why are we still here?
Oh my God! An hour and 17 minutes. We're not even half done. Oh jeez.
Oh my God.
Last of Us 2 constantly keeps you on edge by being very limiting with the amount of resources you can gather, meaning you can't just run through the game running and gunning.
Isn't that the same as the first game?
No, you actually can go through the game running and gunning if you look everywhere. It's very easy to do.
Apparently, like you're just tripping over yourself with ammo if you actually look around.
Yeah, if you actually explore everywhere you can.
Shit, I unplugged my headset.
AI being difficult in flanking you, but also willing to aggressively push you when you're running low on ammo. This brings an extra level of tension, which is more common in horror games, such as Dead Space or the latest Resident Evil games.
Wait, the latest?
There are multiple environmental puzzles through the game, such as opening up safes to recover more loot, traversing...
That's not an environmental puzzle, that's just a mini game.
Well, also, the safe one is really stupid, because the safe one... Technically, for every safe, you can go look for the combination, which is usually in an idiotic place where no human would ever put it. But you can also, skip that entire thing and just listen to the clicks.
I know,
and so the clicks that are the combination sound slightly different. So basically, you have 2 incredibly boring ways to open the safe.
That's not an environmental puzzle. An environmental puzzle is like you have a box you need to drag to the other side of the room to get up to the ledge, to get over to the ladder, yada yada. Opening a safe is optional. You don't need to do that.
Honestly, God, I barely could think of anything that I would personally really consider puzzle. Most of it is, I just need to go there, drop that. All right. Or need to throw that over there. Okay.
All right. Joe Crazy, thanks again. Joel infected Easy-E? What? Are these names? Like, there's so many references I'm not grasping anytime soon in this chat. I'm like, what is going on? Anyway.
torn down by the rope, and powering on generators to access new locations. Each puzzle feels different from what has come before, and keeps the puzzles entertaining right up until the credits have rolled. This definitely helps.
Can you be more specific? Because all I see are platforming, which, I mean, you do have the jump button, I assume, so that makes it different. But other than that, I haven't seen any variation. That makes things new. The only new thing, I think, was the rope, or was it the cable, whatever you call that thing, which was nice, but it was only in like one level, I think?
I think it was in 2.
Oh, okay. So they did do one new thing, a rope. Yay. Jake the Surgeon again. Joel caused the Trail of Tears. What? What are these references? I don't understand all these things, guys. Does anyone have any idea?
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Trail of Tears. Does anyone... Native Americans between 1830 and 1850. Forced relocation. Okay. Jeez. Americans. Bloody history. Okay, we get it.
Yeah, that's 5th grade history here.
Yeah?
Oh god, I've had this the best covered yet. Joel knows the secret to Mario's jump.
What?
I think it's a reference to a Mark Brown Game Maker's Toolkit video. Is like the secret about Mario's jump, and he says literally nothing in the entire video.
Alrighty. Okay. Let's
Smud, where are you?
Where am I physically? In my room. What do you mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, like, what country are you
Oh,
in?
I'm in Canada. I'm Canadian.
You're in Canada. Okay.
Canada, yeah.
Yes, he's in Canada.
the combat fatigue many of us had playing the original game.
Did you guys have combat fatigue playing? Is that what he even said? Did I even hear that right? Am I going deaf?
Wait. Did he say that?
Right up until the credits have rolled. This definitely helps to combat some of the fatigue many of us had playing the original game.
So
that was such a strange sentence.
The platform jumping breaks up the combat? I guess? I mean, technically that should be true, but... Alright.
But, if the combat was really extremely fun so that you wouldn't want to stop, you didn't need a break.
Joel canceled Dead Space. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Alright.
One thing that Last of Us 2 absolutely nails is marrying the soundtrack with the narrative and gameplay.
Joel
the soundtrack truly helps to
Michael
set the scene of each cutscene.
Wait. It nails this... Wait, let me... I gotta hear this one more time.
One thing that Last of Us 2 absolutely nails is marrying the soundtrack with the narrative and gameplay.
With the narrative in gameplay, or with the narrative and gameplay?
And gameplay, I think.
Okay. That makes a bit more sense. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, guys. Joel is the reason why Dread has no sequel. Huh. Oh, okay. The 2012, was it? Dread?
I think.
Yeah, I know. I watched it for movie night with everyone else. I can't remember when it came out, though. But yeah, that was a good budget film. I like that.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Joel invented cyanide. Thanks, Jake. That's always nice to know. All right, let's keep going.
Message coming in.
That truly helps to set the scene of each cutscene or combat encounter.
So this whole scene got me pissed off because here you have the mayor of the town essentially wanting her to go send off these high schoolers to go save her husband or whatever indirectly. When she should be saying no, you're staying here, we'll deal with it, or he could take care of himself or whatever. But nope, we don't care. You just go off and get yourself killed.
Also, honestly, I could only remember this soundtrack as in like soft guitar stuff like he's playing through this entire video. It's all I can remember from the soundtrack.
Yeah, I don't remember any specific combat aside from like the the electric sounds when you get like hurt, or the crescendos when you're about to die.
Yeah.
That's about it. Well, maybe he'll show us. Who knows?
That I haven't experienced since Mass Effect 2 Suicide Mission.
Wait. Let's slow that down. He compares the music to Mass Effect 2's Suicide Mission to The Last of Us 2's combat music in general? Really? Okay, I mean, maybe he's deaf or doesn't know how music works or sounds work, but okay, I mean, those are two very different sounding things. One's a very linear experience with a bunch of upbeat moments. Okay, I mean, fine, you know, his ear is his own. He has his own tastes.
Track echoes pieces of the original score, but doesn't rely solely on it, and brings in some new diverse tracks, which remind me a lot of...
What was the black bar on this entire scene?
Yeah, he's covering the dialogue, the subtitles, I think.
Because he doesn't want to spoil the story.
Yeah.
And the reason why... Well, the reason why was because the developers were getting mad that people were spoiling the story when they were reviewing it, and it was making people not want to buy it because they didn't like the story.
By the way, did Zach just die on us? What happened to Zach? He's usually a lot more loud than not loud. Anyway, let's... Okay, Zach. You're here in spirit.
I am back.
Oh, hey, Zach.
Joel is the reason video games cost $60 now. Dude, Super Nintendo games were $50 back in the day, man.
Yeah, until Joel.
I remember Super Mario Brothers 3 being $110.
Also, as a person living in a country where everything is way more expensive, stop complaining about stuff being expensive.
Yeah, but you have like better prisons and good.
You live in the land of chocolate and cheese. I think we're okay. Everything's so expensive here. Yes, I know. You're in heaven. Thank you.
I just got back and I look at the chat and I see Joel killed Zach. Joel killed Zach. Joel muted Zach. Joel is the reason Zach has a soundboard. Joel revived Zach. What did I miss? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I just got the super chat that...
Are you Joel?
I might be. No. I don't know. Ask me later.
Sorry, I got a better one. Joel's Maggie Mae Fish's biological father. Oh my dear God.
You stole
Joel
that
is
from
Maggie
Bear.
Mae Fish's biology.
I read it from Bear,
Well,
from
Bear
Punished
said that
Berserker.
earlier.
Damn.
Joel made everything expensive in Germany.
Yeah.
Joel created Chad.
Anyway.
Oh, fuck.
I have a friend named Chad, so I'm actually glad he did that.
Let's go.
I mean, a lot of the sound for 2017's Logan.
Logan?
Throughout the story, you will also have...
Wait, is he comparing this to Mass Effect 2 and the music of Logan? I just... What? Example, please.
Logan is a masterpiece?
No. The music in Mass Effect 2 and Logan. He's comparing... It's like, what?
Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Okay.
Quieter moments of character building, where you'll find yourself with Ellie playing the guitar, and the song choices are just so well done and fitting for each moment that they happen in.
Too bad it's fucking cheap, ham-fisted.
Why is he looking at him so seductively?
Yeah,
it's cheap, ham-fisted, and honestly could have been done way fucking better.
Yes, it was so fitting when Ellie in the dilapidated building where there was a random fucking guitar right after the murder of so many zombies and people started singing "Take Me On." That was so fitting.
Take on me.
Take on me.
So the idea of having a in-game or in-scene musical event, like a musical, where you have the person start, singing a song or telling a story, that's fine. But to have them say, oh, he's playing the guitar, this works so well. It's like, why does it work so well? It just does. Like, no. Tell us what is good about this scene. What makes it work? Is it somber? Is it because this is all Joel Knowles?
Message coming in.
Is it because he plays very well? Give us the reason why. Because I can say exactly the same thing about the scene in Bioshock Infinite, where it's just this random thing in the basement of some house, and you just sit there randomly, and you just start strumming the guitar, and then all of a sudden Elizabeth starts singing and humming with you, and you're like, what is going on? It sounds good. It doesn't make it a good scene. It's random. Tell me
Also,
why this works.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just curious, why in the heck are there so many perfectly preserved guitars lying around?
I've never.
That's also a thing that I really asked myself. I was like, why is there a guitar here?
And it works. It's finely tuned, etc., etc. Yeah, I know.
In Bioshock Infinite, I remember really loving that game, and I don't think I've thought about it very much in years. But yeah, looking back on it, I remembered absolutely loving that little scene with the guitar and with Elizabeth. And yeah, right. I loved that little scene because it was just like beautiful. She has a good singing voice, and it was just a sweet little moment with them. Now looking back at it, I'm just like, wait, that was a random fuck off house.
Yeah.
Like in between battles, like that was in between fights, and I'm like, why are we just chilling right now? Like, okay. So that even falls apart now with a little bit of critical thinking.
It's fluff. It's just this thing to do. And in this case, it's a plot point. But why does it work, sir? Tell us. I want to know.
Also, why did they make these things as a mini game?
Oh, right.
Smud, can you check the chat real quick?
All right. Jake again. Joel is why I question my life and lay in bed wishing that I'd eat a Glock. Wow.
Okay, not that, but our chat, our group chat.
Oh. Apparently, Hawk wants to join.
Oh,
want to have some real fun? You
I didn't want to put. I didn't want to put on-screen pressure for.
You want to, guys? You want to add Hawk to the chat? Go ahead.
Is get a calico, and then just out of curiosity, see how long you can hold the trigger before it's over.
Wait, say that again.
I was saying how instead of a Glock, if you wanted to have fun, you could use a calico, and then just see how long he can hold the trigger.
This is another one of those.
A calico is a type of submachine gun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is.
I know nothing about guns.
Yeah.
Now you get it.
This is another one of those American
I know quite
gun
a bit about
facts
swords,
that the
but
rest
nothing about guns.
Yeah, the rest of the world's
No
like,
problem.
what is this American talking about guns again? I have no idea.
Well, the weapon I actually know most about is the staff. But
here's the Hawk.
A gun? Is that a sword-like weapon?
Yes.
Yes.
Shut up.
You can slash people with them.
Hello,
So,
how's everyone doing?
We're not even halfway done, so I'm going to have to get through all these ridiculous super chats, so don't mind me, we'll just keep going very quickly. Jake the Surgeon. Joel convinced Kurt Cobain life is really hard. Thanks, Jake. John Doe, the average Joe. Question, thank you. Oh, fuck. Is Joel an unstoppable force or immovable object? Answer, he invented this philosophical question. Oh, that's so enlightening, John. Thank you. What is this? What is happening? Like, why am I... All right. Okay, let's keep going.
This video is amazing. This video is amazing. I've been watching it, and it's just great.
This guy's commentary is so vapid. You're like, it is amazing. The music from Mass Effect 2 is also the same as the music from Logan.
Yeah, that is one of the weirdest things I've ever heard in my life.
And he hasn't
Mass
shown
Effect
us.
2 Suicide Track.
You just lied.
The
You
suicide
just lied.
mission.
Hawk,
Okay, it's the
Hawk, you
it's
just
the
lied.
fear- it's
You've
the-
watched a
it's
Maggie
the
May
fourth-
Fish video. All right.
Okay, it's the fourth weirdest thing I've ever heard.
All right. That's a little more reasonable, but it's still a lie because you've watched 2 Maggie May Fish videos that I know of.
Yeah, true. But yeah, the music in this is nothing like the Mass Effect soundtrack. Yeah, Yeah, and also, with the guitar, I'll say the Bioshock Infinite thing scene is the only vibes I get. Really random. But I guess it's just because Troy Baker can play guitar.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using the talents of your artists that you weren't part of the original plan to like shoehorn them in, but you gotta make it work. You can't just like, hey, random event, yay.
I know the Bioshock Infinite one was just because Troy one day just started playing the guitar. He just brought in as a joke, and the voice actress for Elizabeth started singing, and the song they made up was what they put in to the game. But I don't know why The Last of Us 2.
No, that song existed that's like an old Slave song.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, what I meant was they started singing and the people liked it, so they added it in. And obviously, they must have put a song in. But with The Last of Us, I don't really know why there seems to be this whole,
Maybe they just try to reinforce the thing at the end to make it seem so tragic that she can't play guitar anymore, even though she technically speaking still could.
You know,
isn't that lovely though?
It would have been
the
nice.
Ending of the game.
It would have been nice though.
Reminder of Joel, she can't do anymore.
Well,
isn't it such a great uplifting game?
That's the obvious representation or symbol of the guitar, but they also had that weird moth or whatever, the butterfly, whatever the heck that thing is on the guitar that they kept pointing to. And I was like, what does this mean? What's the point of that? Is that like her tattoo? Is it something she's sharing? I don't know.
I think the answer to that we got to in yesterday's video. The butterfly symbolizes her innocence escaping.
Flying the fuck out of the window when she banged Dina in that
I think I forgot
weed
that
house.
I still can't believe it.
The symbolism foreshadows the story. Like, what? No, you moron. Anyway, Jake, Joel is why Jesse Jackson was resisting arrest. Oh, jeez, that's not nice.
Fucking hell, Jake!
Hell. I just
message coming in.
I bet Jake's just going like, "Oh, I'm glad this video's come up. I can finally spend all those $2 on all of his dark jokes."
No, wait, this is for you, Hawk. Joel kicked King George III out of Britain.
What?
Well, okay. and it was a good choice. Look
Anyway,
how crazy it's got over there now.
Anyway,
we couldn't control it.
We're not even half done, so let's try and keep going.
And truly help the tone of this post-apocalyptic setting. Here is just a short piece of gameplay where you can see all the best elements of the game coming together to create not only a satisfying gameplay scenario, but also immersing you in the moment with a tension-filled score and realistic, but sometimes uncomfortable sound design.
Okay, so he's saying this is a satisfying experience with all these elements working in tandem. You're like, all right, let's be satisfied. Can't wait.
This better be a hard-hitting game clip. Like, you better bring your A game with this.
Because the fucking school and the TV station. That was scars. I think these trespassers might be working with them. Don't drop your guard.
How do you not? Okay, so
wait, you didn't notice that? That the one guy just fell over there?
Where's Tommy? Tommy.
Also, I'd like to point out that when they climbed over the truck, they just like slid across the back end. It looked really unnatural.
No, they did. What? Let me roll that back.
Yeah, instead of going just round the truck, the AI pathing, they had to climb up over.
Oh my god, that's some bad AI.
Why would you do that?
Make noise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you hear the noise like somebody, it also you often make noise when you get hit by something.
Yeah.
And so
like in your skull.
Hit you in the face.
What if it goes through your face?
I think humans would just instinctively recognize a noise like that. That sounds very, painful. And so they would probably turn around if they heard something like that.
You might also notice the big arrow sticking out of someone's skull when they hit the ground.
It must have been the wind.
He was putting all his stats into stealth archery. I
Yeah.
see.
You know how in games when you make a noise, everyone goes in your position?
Oh yeah.
Is that a thing in The Last of Us 2? It doesn't look like it. It seems like they don't know what happened. It's like, oh my god, my friend got an arrow in his eye from that direction. Where's it go everywhere else? Like,
there's a thing with dogs that just basically immediately know where you are and run towards you, no matter where you are. As long as you're kind of in range, they're just like, oh, they know where you are and run towards you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's also really fun.
One thing I like about Ghost of Tsushima again, dogs have to sniff you out and hunt you down. Mm-hmm. They don't just make a beeline for your position. So that's interesting. Also, the stealth mechanic in Ghost of Tsushima is, I think, well done, because as you upgrade your Tonto when you go throughout the game, you're also getting better at stealth killing.
But
and
Zach, it's not very honorable.
Yeah.
So stop.
Message coming in.
Yeah.
Patching it through.
So honor doesn't win wars.
No, but it's an important theme in the story.
Message coming
in. It's a good theme. I do appreciate that it is a good theme. So here's the thing. Here's the theme thing. I like themes. Themes good when they're well done.
Yes.
Theme good when done good. Okay, but theme bad
theme's
when
good when the actual themes are not just shoved in last minute.
Theme bad when Last Jedi. Okay, theme bad when
Anyways,
Last Jedi.
We still have 10 minutes, roughly.
Okay.
All I'm going to say is this is meant to be a really good scene, really tense, and we've spent the last 5 minutes just.
Is there music?
Talking about a better game
already. Yeah.
I can't hear any music. Anyway, John Doe, thanks again. Joel, wait. Joel Biden and Joel Mala Harris.
No, you delete that. Delete it.
I got that reference.
Delete it.
That's a reference I understand. Thank you, America.
You keep that up.
John Doe, you delete that.
No, don't delete that. Be proud. It's a free.
I'm the shadow demon here.
For now.
You fucking delete it.
Okay, here's Jake the Surgeon. Last one I promised. Joel's real last name is Weinstein.
No!
Also, there was a comment at the chat I saw before that said, Smut, there's more Joel in this chat than there was in the game.
Oh my!
It's true.
Oh boy. All right, let's see this amazing gameplay that combines music and whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What?
How did you see him go into the house? Get in
Yeah,
there. What do you mean? What? He's outside.
What? Who are you talking to?
How come it's
Wait, there were only two there. There were only two there, and one of them's dead. What? What?
What? How did you? Where?
What?
Where did you? Where did you?
What is happening?
What did he? Did she just like shoot at a dog or something?
Yeah, I think a dog
there was
died.
I didn't see a dog,
there a
but
dog?
there was sounds of a dog dying.
Yeah.
There was a
Also,
dog in the ground.
crawling. Oh, well, I didn't see that. Also, why did she crawl through the body and just let it awkwardly ragdoll onto the character?
This is not a good example of gameplay or game design.
Also, music. What music is actually playing? I can't really hear anything.
No, there's nothing.
Same. Also, one thing I hate when games do it is, I get it, it's realistic, but in high grass, if it's supposed to do stuff, because the thing in The Last of Us 2 is, as soon as you're lying in high grass, nobody can see you, kind of. The one thing that I hate about it is it shows the grass is being pushed away, so people would see that this massive spot where there's no grass and go like, wait, why is that there? And then it would move, and you're like, right. So
yeah,
it just
you'd follow where the grass is pushed down.
It irritates me so much how it's done in this game, because often, they do it that you're covered by it.
I mean, to be fair, I've gotten away with worse in the Phantom Pain.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a bit of a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
It is very much a peeve whenever you use tall grass as a hiding place where there's scenarios where you can do that if it's like up to like waist height and the top is like a bunch of flowers or like it's like cattails. Like that can work.
There's one example that I actually really like, and that's in Horizon Zero Dawn. The grass you can hide in has red tips, and it's an extremely similar red to the hair of your character.
I forgot about that. That's such a good design choice. All right, go ahead.
And I really like that. So that kind of makes kind of sense.
That's such a good design choice. Oh my god, you just reminded me of that. Thank you.
It's funny.
When was the last time you saw that, Zach? Do you remember?
I remember.
Okay.
Thank you, Smud.
No, I'm just,
But for Rich Farm remembers.
Smud, do you remember?
No, I'm too old. I can't remember. I'm too old.
Oh no. No.
Anyway, let's keep enjoying this masterful gameplay.
Music, oh my god.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Was this bit said as a joke or something?
No, this is his example of masterful grit.
Fucking dog's dead.
Where's the music?
Excellent.
It is reactive. I mean, the AI is reacting to you. That is a thing.
I still want to know where the music is, though.
I just love the. I don't know why that's funny. I don't know why.
Dog's dead.
Dog's dead.
Throws brick. My fucking dog's dead.
Dog's dead.
Dude, what the fuck? What? This was his choice. He chose this. He cherry-picked this out of... How many hours does it take to play through Last of Us 2?
30?
Too long. I think 30 something.
30 hours of gameplay. Let's just say 30 hours of gameplay. This, I guess, minute-long clip is what he chose to exemplify and just show us how amazing the gameplay, the atmosphere, and the music is.
So far, I've heard no music. Gameplay looks terrible, and the atmosphere is laughable, and the fucking dog's dead.
Goddamn area.
Oh, you missed.
Wait, who?
Wait,
what?
He shot past her face. Like
right,
that arrow whizzed past her face, and she's just like, must have been the wind.
I have a hard time seeing shit.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time like making out what she's actually shooting at. Well, Ellie's shooting at, but it's
so that's fine. That's fine. So what this guy is doing is he's catching glimpses, leaning back and taking a shot at where he estimates where the head is.
Okay.
Through the grass. That's something that I do. That's something that I think most gamers do, unless you're Hawk, in which case you're just shit.
Sorry about that. That was me.
Wait,
you
what do
were
mean
shooting through the grass?
I'm just shit.
You're shit.
I'm great.
I blame you, Hawk. Yokai was shooting through the grass. That's some lore. Cool. But yeah, he's just estimating where the head was. And that's fine. I just have a problem with the arrow whizzing past or whizzing through a person's eyelashes and they just don't notice.
Yeah, also, how many people are actually here? Because we only saw 2, and now there's more than 2 people talking.
I have no clue. It's so irritating because you didn't give context.
Also, your fucking dog's dead. You don't just wander away.
Yeah, I thought it was just her sneaking around people, so why is she revealing her position by letting them know how dead the enemy is?
Hold up. If I just saw my dog dead with an arrow sticking out of it, the first thing I'd do is seek cover.
Yes. Yes, I wouldn't just wander around going, oh, well, it's dead. Might as well go back to wandering around.
I'm curious why they didn't say the dog's
literally
name.
Just, oh no.
My dog's dead. Not Timmy or little Rin Tin Tin or whatever you want to call the dog. My dog is dead. Like, okay, yeah.
My fucking
That's
dog
the name of the dog.
Arrow magnet.
No, Aeromagnet, not you.
She called the dog my dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, my fucking dog's dead.
Oh yeah.
That's actually the name of the dog.
Message
my
coming
fucking
in.
dog.
Patching it through.
Yeah.
Jake the Surgeon. If someone hurry my dog, I'd be ready to annihilate them harder than Tyrone to Druck
And that,
his wife.
If someone hurt my dog, I'd be ready to annihilate them.
Yeah, I think that's what.
I think you lost a few letters there in annihilate, but okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Also, Jake the Surgeon, what is your profile picture? Because it looks like a barf-colored Power Ranger.
Yeah, I just want to say the same.
That's fine. I want to know this amazing guy.
That is a question for another time.
Good
Yes.
question.
Green Power Ranger.
Let's keep going.
No,
then.
it's a barf Power Ranger.
It's weird. It's like a green and yellow rain. What the fuck am I looking at? It's like a banana ranger.
What? Peripheral. What? What?
Okay.
There's this girl with a weapon running towards me. What?
Hey, I know you.
Haven't I seen you?
Oh my god, it's like have you ever watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Yes, of course.
You know that scene where John Cleese as Lancelot is running towards that castle
Yes.
from a distance, and we just
Yes.
stood there watching him. And she comes up, stabs it, and the other guy goes, "Hey," like that. That's what reminded me of that. Just watching Ellie run up to him, going,
Also, he was holding a shotgun aimed at the ground. All he had to do was raise it slightly and pull the trigger.
What?
And she was about
What is that?
How far away would you estimate?
10
What, like
meters.
30 feet, 20
10
feet?
meters, yeah.
God.
30 feet? Jesus, man, no.
What's
It's
that in
really a lot
meters?
closer than that.
What is that in baguettes per cigarette? French units.
Baguette per
How about 5 meters? Is that better?
Also, philosophers from Switzerland, not France.
Potato.
Hey. Jake the Surgeon.
I mean, I speak a bit of French.
Jake, it's the Green Ranger helmet with tacos on it. Oh.
Why are there
That's...
tacos on it, though?
How does that work?
Why ask those questions?
Why do you have
What's
tacos
wrong with having
on it?
tacos?
Why do you have tacos?
Why
Why
not?
are you culturally appropriating tacos?
For a second, I had a brain fart and thought they were like literally tacos on it. So not just, painted on it, but as in actual tacos on it.
Physical tacos just like glued to the helmet?
Yeah. Like, wait, what?
Jake the Surgeon could be Mexican. Jake is a very Mexican name.
No.
Or Japanese.
Yeah, idiot.
Or both. Anyway.
Jake, the ghost of Tsushima.
Let's go.
Oh, now there's music.
Why are you
there's
hiding?
music, yeah.
There's no one else there. Why are you hiding?
No, but there is one more person because I saw the white indicator, which spots white supremacy in this game.
I agree. That's a noisy.
Wow! So that person's just staring out a window. Did that?
Wait. That was. Wait.
Why is it?
What's that sound behind me? I don't know. I'm going to jump through this window.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
Well, if they were just like, "Oh fuck, what was that?" and then jumped out the window, I would be like, okay, they're getting away from the spooky sound in the spooky house. I get it. I would jump out the window.
I've never seen such good gameplay.
Oh yeah, honestly, this is great.
This is chef's kiss, just mwah.
Oh no.
That's a Batwoman reference.
I got that.
The gameplay is so good. Look at this woman jump through a window. Okay, yeah, great.
So, like I said, I would if I heard spooky sound behind me in spooky place, and I would jump out the window and then turn around and try to assess whatever threat was behind me.
I mean, if I was having a gun in my hands, I would just turn around and aim my gun at this noise.
Okay, AI limitations, that's fine. What?
No, don't do it right
No.
behind. What? Okay, so the blood coming out of the neck with the knife in it, I'm just like, please, just stop.
Wait, hang on, is that, in that pause screen,
Message
is
coming
that
in.
knife even in Ellie's hand
Patch it
anymore?
through.
Or is that...
Oh god. Oh
Wait,
no.
actually,
Oh no.
it might be just a bit too blurry, but
it's blurry. She has a closed fist and it's holding the knife. Then that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, right, okay.
It's fine.
See, this this gameplay clip started off badly, but it's ended with the death of a woman, so I'm conflicted about whether it's good or not.
I'm just lost where the music is. I barely heard anything.
Yeah, well,
I heard...
So it seems the story.
Oh, that's it.
Wait, that was it? That was it?
Okay. Well, all right then.
This gameplay is really good. Okay, are you gonna explain why you chose that as like?
So
the best
he
bit of
said that
gameplay?
he chose that clip because it exemplifies all the amazing and perfect elements of the gameplay and the music and the atmosphere and the AI. We've been shitting on that for longer than the clip was. And he's not going to qualify anything else because he's already talked about it, and he's just moving on to the next point like he just dropped the mic on that.
This is a problem with anyone who says something is boring or fun. It's such a subjective emotion, and without saying why something is boring, like boring you can work with. Boring is like, hey, look, this is nothing's happening, or it's not very exciting because of XYZ. When you're having fun, it's like, oh, look at, I'm pushing a ball across the room. You're like, okay, well, you're having a good time. I don't know why, but you are. That's fine.
I mean, I would
Look at these
classify boring.
jangling keys. My son is having so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would classify boring as fun as boring and fun as very similar. I mean, if you don't explain what you mean, what makes it fun or boring for you, we're not gonna understand what you exactly mean. Because something that's boring to you might be fun or interesting for us. What's fun for you might be boring or uninteresting for us.
When you have fun or have enjoyment, there's usually not a intellectual response you can properly give. So if I say, I really like this bourbon, but I know nothing about tasting notes and flavor profiles, I'm like, it tastes good. I'm like, what? Okay. That's, I mean, good for you, but you have to like tell me why. And some people don't have the vocabulary or the knowledge, and that's fine. Because something is working.
That with some things you certainly can explain why you find it interesting or sometimes even fun. Like you really like the responsiveness or
but that's what I mean. He does not have the knowledge or the vocabulary to explain things. He just says, look at it. It's amazing. And you're like, well, what exactly am I looking at? And he needs to do that if he wants to provide a succinct reason. Whereas if you have the negative, if you have the boring or the painful, it's like, look, this thing isn't doing anything that is attracting me or stimulates me, and that's the basic response.
It's not it's not gripping me. It's not, it's not gripped me.
Right.
It's not
like if the music was like getting a little like heart poundy or sort of like dun, 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 like something like okay, tension. Then you're like, all right, that's a cinematic experience. I can get behind that, even if I don't like it. I could understand where he's coming from, but I barely heard anything there.
Yeah. And
if
I may interject,
sorry, Zach.
If I may interject, the way to do that would not have been to just show this 1 minute clip and just let it play and just be like, I'll just let the game do the talking for me.
Right.
No, this is your video essay. You need to tell me, you need to show a clip, pause, and then explain. Okay, did you see this, that, the other thing, and this is why that element is good, and then you let the rest of the clip play, then it shows another element, and you're like, this is a great example of this, and ABC.
Right, because he
explain yourself. This is your video essay. Do not let the game do the talking for you. This is your chance to talk for the game.
He referenced Mass Effect 2 and Logan, so I was like, okay, what, in Mass Effect 2's Suicide Mission, I can think of a few elements where the music picks up when you do something. And that's like, oh, it's based off your input. That makes sense. With Logan, I have to really think hard about that because, whatever action scenes.
Oh, Logan. Oh, Logan.
Yeah,
oh,
the movie.
right. I thought you said Logain for a second there. I was like, when the hell did Dragon Age get brought up into this?
No, sir.
Logang.
No.
Logang.
Yeah, Logain. Yeah.
So I was hoping for.
Yes, I know. I misheard.
Right. So I was hoping for some examples where, this is where you go turn off the valve or open the vent, and it's like, that's very exciting, and action-packed, or the Bubble Babe event or whatever. No, in this it's just she runs through a field and shoots guys in the neck. And
Also, I'm pretty sure you can go through that section of the game, even just guns blazing, and not do it that way. So he needs to explain why. Yeah, that was a good scene. Because to be honest with you, all I saw was bad AI,
bad aim. Yeah,
bad aim, and a fucking dog dying
after throwing a brick.
Yeah, after you threw a brick as well. Great.
Jake the Surgeon. My nickname is Taco with my friends, and one of them made me some channel art for Christmas. Oh, isn't that nice?
Oh,
that's lovely.
Oh,
Also,
that's nice.
Beskar Cop just came in with this golden comment. Joel wants to stimulate Smudboy. How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty rudimentary, not stimulated at all. So I'm okay.
Oh, well, I'll go get Joel for you, and then he can stimulate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's great. Okay.
Zach sounded like such a Saturday morning TV presenter just then. So, how do you feel about it? And someone just like,
no, I didn't give him the Jimmy Kimmel laugh.
Yeah, that 100% Jimmy Kimmel.
Also, the comments of the video we're covering are just amazing, just absolutely brilliant.
Oh, please don't. Please don't read them.
I'm not gonna give you cats.
Joe Crazy. People don't become more aware of their surroundings in a stressful situation like that. How are they not jumping at every sound and sign of movement? It's strange because usually in simpler games, when you alert the guards, you are near dead. Like they're going to start shooting at you. And this game, it seems like they're running around like, what was that noise? What's this arrow? What's that brick? What's like everyone's running around, not sure what's going on. I didn't know.
What's this? There's death in the air.
Yeah.
What's this? What's this? There's arrows in my dog. What's this?
I was gonna go the route of all the AI is thinking is just on repeat. Like
even that one scene where she's walking up to the guy who's looking directly at her, and he's like, "Duh."
Yeah.
Like alert.
A shotgun in front of him, lowered to the ground. All he had to do was raise it 10 degrees and pull the trigger.
I told you, Ellie has a 20 in stealth on her stats sheet. So,
but I don't believe the thing is, if people start saying, "Yeah, but other games, the AI is not good." Yeah, but other games didn't boast about how great the AI was.
Well,
constantly.
Also,
this game constantly boasted about it.
Other games
if the AI if the AI in other games shit, well, they're still all shit.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of games go, yeah, we've got shit AI. Yeah, that's fine. This one's like, we've got shit AI. We'll just make out it's the greatest AI that's ever existed.
Also,
it's amazing. It's wonderful.
Like in games like Dark Souls, in games like Dark Souls, kind of shit AI works. But in games like this, it's like it starts to really fucking stick out. At least to me.
You could have. I bet you could have followed that last woman around that entire map, and she would never know you were behind her. Not even stealth, and just walking behind her.
I mean, I know I keep on bringing up Ghost, but one thing I appreciate it once you trigger an alarm in a camp or something, the guards they pair up, and then like one of them will walk forward, and then one of them's right behind him walking backwards.
And then there's one random archer that you didn't see before that just randomly fucking kills you.
They do that in the Arkham games.
Fuck, that is such a genius AI move. Like, yeah, that's something you would do in that scenario. You would have somebody watching your back. And once you trigger the guards, they don't give up. there is no timer. There's not just, oh no, my friend's died. 5 minutes later. Anyway, moving on. Rip Jimmy. He was such a good Mongol. He fucking burned that village so well. Anyway.
Yeah, in the Arkham games, they even start destroying like stuff in the area, like gargoyles, so that you've got less places to go. So they're actually trying to make it more difficult.
They recognize your tactics, and you even have eventually you'll get enemies in like Arkham City. I don't remember Arkham Knight very much because it wasn't that great, but in Arkham City, you'll have enemies just straight up adapt to your tactics. As in, you'll take out one time to a gargoyle. Immediately, every one of them, like once they find that body, they destroy every gargoyle. You take out another one by coming up through a hatch. They start looking in the hatches.
There's a similar system in Metal Gear Solid 5. For example, if you constantly kill people with headshots, they start wearing helmets. If you do a certain strategy all the time, the AI will adapt to it.
It's so good. And then you have The Last of Us 2. Where we have squeaky doors. We have squeaky doors 6 feet away from an enemy, and then they're just
you can also turn on the option that you're invisible to enemies when you go prone. The one thing that I actually find the most funny thing about that is that when you do that, for some reason, the thing why it's there is because they want to make the game more accessible. But I then question, why the heck does there play an ungodly, incredibly irritating noise when you're prone? If that mode is on, there's just this incredibly grating noise that makes me so mad. I just wanted to figure out what this mode even does, why it's there. It's just so annoying to use it, and it's like, why? If you give it an option, why make the player suffer for using the option?
To be honest with you, you're suffering by just playing through the game, to be honest with you. Did you expect going prone to be better?
True enough.
Anyway, we're just half done. This is going to take a while longer than I thought, so let's try to get through this.
Alright, it's alright, we'll do it.
Is what divides takes the most. If it wasn't obvious already, I really enjoyed the story that narrative director Neil Druckmann chose to tell us.
What was that?
Wow, that was amazing.
Character directions.
What was that? It was a grenade?
His choice.
Why is he showing dogs being blown up?
Why is he talking about? Yeah, why is he talking about character justifying characters while showing a dog getting blown up?
Well, this time as well, I heard some a dog yapping. I think that's what it's called in English.
That was a very strange scene, but anyway.
What I don't agree with, however, is Naughty Dog's approach in marketing this game, and also the pace at which key elements are revealed in the story. I'll get into it in more detail later, but for now I'll give you my thoughts on the story. So I've already said that I would reveal some key elements of the game that Naughty Dog chose to conceal.
Ouch.
And that is that in Last of Us 2, you not only play as Ellie and Joel, but you play a massive portion of the game from a new character's perspective, whose name is Abby.
Yeah, that's a problem. We hate Abby.
Yeah.
We hate Ellie too. Now.
Yeah.
We used to like her. And then she said bigot sandwich.
I'm not sure if there's... I think I like Tommy.
Yeah, too bad he gets shot in the fucking head.
Yeah,
and survives.
Fine. That's how fucking good Tommy...
If
only been a golf club.
That honestly pisses me off so much, and it's very depressing that you have Tommy, who's a genuinely good character, and it's just like, lol, we shot him in the head. Isn't that good?
He also comes back.
Yeah.
Right after Asian sperm boy dies, getting shot in the head.
Yeah, Jesse, I think.
Yeah.
And for some reason, almost every person playing through the game I watched called him Eugene.
Eugene. Yeah. Who's Eugene?
Also, Lev's sister, who at one point you have to get medicine for her, and then I think an hour later she just gets fucking annihilated.
I know.
It was great watching Mauler play it. He was losing his shit.
It's like, oh, wow, cool.
I've also never seen Mauler celebrate so much when who was it who got his head blown off on Abby's team.
Oh right, Manuel.
Yeah,
that's Manuel.
yeah.
He was like,
He was like, yes, yes. It was like, wow, okay, jeez, man, calm down.
Yeah, Manuel spit on Joel. Fuck him.
Yeah, I just no one comes out of this game smelling the roses,
and that's not a good story. Like, well,
yeah, when nobody.
That's a very broad. That's a very broad blanket. That's a broad blanket statement. That I don't really stand by.
Well,
you can have a depressing story. Like, I know, I'm reading 1984 right now. I already know that the party wins against the rebellion.
What? Oh.
Yeah, I already know that.
Oh man, spoiler.
Man, spoilers.
Yeah,
man.
it's only been out for like 100 years or something. Fuck off.
I've already read it.
Hey, guess what? People still read Karl Marx and don't know how it ends.
Poorly.
Yeah.
Anyways, you were saying that.
You can have a depressing ending, or an ending that isn't where the good guy doesn't win, and have it be a good story. And you can have it be effective and deliver a message, and have it be just a moral story or something like that. This isn't. This game doesn't do that. It's just everything's shit, and the character that we hate the most, that has no redeeming qualities, Abby. She has no redeeming qualities other than her dad saved a zebra, and she saves a trans
That's
kid.
not even so. That's not her redeeming qualities. That's her dad's redeeming qualities.
That's why I said she doesn't have any redeeming qualities.
Yeah, but you said apart from her, that her dad's. So it's someone around who was nice.
Shut the fuck up, Hawk. This game does not do that very well. And it just ultimately leaves you with, oh, well, Ellie doesn't have a family anymore. She can't play the guitar. And she's just off on her own now.
Yeah.
Cool. And the person that murdered Joel brutally is just getting away scot-free. All right.
Yay!
If you'll excuse me, I just need to take care of something real quick.
All right, let's keep going.
Abby is only ever shown once in the original E3 trailer. Abby is part of the Washington Liberation Front, which is a new faction introduced in The Last of Us 2 and is a prominent character in the new story. In the 20-odd hours you'll spend in this game, you'll spend at least half of your time from the perspective of this new character, with the rest being mainly the perspective of Ellie.
So, I hope that he quantifies this and explains why or why not that is a good thing. Because taking away from the main characters of Joel and Ellie, killing one of them, and then giving the other half of gameplay to this random fuck-off person that we didn't know previously, isn't exactly the wisest decision. You can do it, but you need to do it well. So I hope he quantifies this.
Yeah, just remember, like he said, in all the trailers and all the before the game came out, no one knew about playing as Abby for that long.
Yeah.
So they weren't very confident about it. And no, it's not because they wanted to keep it a secret. No, they knew no one was going to enjoy it. They knew no one was going to enjoy this.
This is why it's always compared. This is why it's always compared to Metal Gear Solid 2.
Because this guy thinks that
that's where the trick with the marketing was also done. And a lot of people said, "Why can't I play as Snake?" And you do get the opportunity too, but the story is not about Snake; it's about Jack or Raiden. So, and there's other problems with Metal Gear Solid 2 that I'm not going to talk about because those are crazy. But the fact that that was done to the audience was sort of like, oh, thanks, Kojima. That wasn't very clever. Why did you do that? Now the game was still fun to play in certain regards, but you're still messing with it. You're not selling the thing it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which is what you don't do.
It always comes off as, oh, we were trying to keep it a secret. It seems like such a cop-out answer in regards to marketing.
Also, if I remember
when it makes up such a large amount of the game.
Neil Druckmann once said that that nobody complained when Kojima did it, so why do you complain when we do it? Something akin to that.
Suck at it, you dense fuck.
No,
People
about
did
the
complain about
marketing.
Kojima,
Yeah, but people did complain about
When
it.
That's why people.
when I talk to people, they rank the best Metal Gear Solid games. Metal Gear Solid 2 is always on the bottom, which is ironic.
I just got an advertisement for a samurai armor Mandalorian.
What?
Okay.
I just wanted to. Hold
thank
on.
you.
I'll just snip tool that real quick because it looks stupid.
Why would you? Yeah, I don't care.
Anyway.
There you go.
I personally enjoyed Abby's segment a lot more than I did Ellie's, which was already fantastic in itself.
That says more about you than.
I believe that
Passage
Joel,
coming in.
Ellie, and Abby
Patching
both
it through.
have satisfying character development, along with the side characters.
Joel's
which leads
character
to a
development is
conclusion
being
an
turned
ultimately
into a
dark and gripping tale.
What's up,
being turned into a stain on the floor.
That's incredibly upsetting too. Just the fact that they linger on his beaten, mulched body. It's such a slap in the face.
The one thing that is just so stupid about Abby's character is that they so desperately wanted to introduce her as the most vile person imaginable to the player, but then they tried their very best to and used every cheap trick in the book to make you go like, oh no, she's a good person deep down. But in the end, he still killed everybody. She still fucking kills her.
I'm glad that everybody that knows Abby died horrible deaths. Yes, even the dog.
Yeah, I mean, from what I gather from her character after watching shit on and playing the game, I could see her killing them if they got in her way.
I honestly believe she could easily kill
I
her.
know, it's just they utterly failed at making her a compelling character.
You know when Ellie kills what's her name, who's pregnant? I can't remember her name. Mel. Mel. All going through my head with that scene was just the Halo commentator going, double kill.
Kill you.
Triple kill.
The one thing that was pointed out to me is that the time frame when they killed Joel is supposed to be like several weeks before. And her belly is flat then.
Yep.
And when you kill her, first off, she wears a jacket that hides that she has a belly, but then the jacket comically flaps open to reveal her like 7 months pregnant belly.
Oh, all I know is people who designed Mel have never seen a pregnant woman in their life.
What about? Oh, are you sure that you should be going out there? Isn't it dangerous? What would husband think of this? Oh, well, it's my body, not his. It's like it's his baby too. Like,
yeah.
what?
Also, I don't know if you've ever seen a pregnant woman walk around.
I have.
They are not able to go into combat in any shape.
They can waddle really well.
But also, it took her belly like 3 weeks to go from nothing to 7 months pregnant.
Oh my god!
Yes. It doesn't work. Listen, I have a child. I've seen a pregnant woman up close.
Hot's a dad, everybody.
No, this does. Yeah. But that is not how pregnancy works. And I'll tell you something now. Women are not level-headed during pregnancy. There's a lot of
how
hormones
sexist
going.
of you! Oh, jeez, you're such a sexist.
There's yes. Okay.
They're really level-headed.
The other reason I said this is there's a lot of hormones going on. They are not the most level-headed people in the world.
Well, that's regardless.
I've also lived on a street with 3 pregnant ladies. That gets fucking insane.
Okay then. Alex Halo, a good anime where the hero loses is Fate Zero. Yep, that's true.
I haven't seen it. I'll watch it.
Fate Zero is probably the best of the Fate series as a start.
I haven't seen any of the Fate series.
You gotta like hot chicks as males in history being overpowered fighters. So.
What?
I mean, you said hot chicks, and I'm fine with that.
There you go.
Yeah, you had me at hot.
Yeah. Oh.
It sounded like Smud really wanted to explain the premise, but also like halfway through went, you know.
No.
Sure.
Trying to explain the Fate series is just going to take about too long that I want to commit to. So I'll just say Hot Chicks
do you
as
want to
heroes.
talk about that instead of this fucking video?
No, I'd rather finish the next few minutes. Joe Crazy, you're back. Not to mention, just how many mooks in the WF has, I doubt they're desperate enough to send a pregnant woman on patrol. Well, I don't know. If you are playing as Ellie and you slaughter about 100 or 200 of them, they're going to be like, hey, didn't we just lose like 12 people yesterday, another 12 today, another 12? Like, what's going on out there? We got to be careful with our people suddenly.
Send the pregnant lady!
Yeah. She's
The wind has
expendable.
been super strong lately.
Yeah, if the pregnant lady fights Ellie, she outnumbers Ellie 2-1.
Shut.
Quick math.
Shut.
I feel that what Neil Druckmann has done with The Last
Bye.
of Us was what Rian
You
Johnson
are-
hoped to
you're
achieve
dead after that,
with The
by the
Last
way.
Jedi. By keeping the core original...
Wait. Slow down.
Oh, don't you ever mention The
I
Last
feel
Jedi
that
as
what
something
Neil Druckmann has
positive.
done with The Last of Us 2 was what Rian Johnson hoped to achieve with The Last Jedi.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
What
Last
vibes
Jedi
about the
comparison tonight. Let me get my. Oh no! It's the same. Likes Last of Us Part 2 as well as Last Jedi is the same marker on my bingo cards. So I guess.
Oh yeah, the bingo card. Yeah, I've actually got to get that out. Actually.
All right, here we go. TLJ references. Let's start.
Yeah.
Original
boy.
World alive, with constant meaningful callbacks to the original, while subverting all expectations and taking the series in a new direction.
Subverting expectations.
Oh
taking a
damn! Is that on the card? Subverting expectations.
I'll say the same thing I'll say every time somebody says subverting expectations. Nobody wants their expectations subverted. And if you are going to subvert expectations, you better knock it out of the fucking park.
Yep.
You can't just be like, lol, unexpected. Am I right, gamers? No, go fuck yourself with a cactus.
My go-to example for a story where it's done well is the film The Departed.
Well, that's a great
The
film.
Departed is a great example of subverting your expectations. Leo gets fucking capped at the very end of the movie when you think he has just won. But no, the bad guy gets away scot-free.
He doesn't even know.
Well, he doesn't get away, but he basically has everything swept under the rug. And has to like go on with the rest of his life knowing that he's how much of a piece of shit he is. And the good guy doesn't get anything in return. The good guy gets a fucking bullet to the brain. Go ahead.
It's a trend that just saying, "Oh, it's subverted expectation equal good." It just has become a trend.
I feel that subverting expectations now is just used by fake intellectuals to explain why something they enjoyed is shit.
Nobody wants their expectations subverted. Fans want fan service. We want good fan service. All right, you can do good fan service. Isn't bad.
All right, let's get into this.
Fucking anime chick.
Let's get into this.
That's good fan service.
I want to hear it.
It feels as if Kylo Ren's quote from The Last Jedi.
Fuck off already! God damn it!
Don't ever
I want to hear this. Come on.
Fucking quote.
Oh,
While subverting all expectations and taking the series in a new direction.
Message coming in.
Fuck off already! Just
It feels
I'm
as if
ready.
Kylo
Honestly.
Ren's quote from The Last Jedi is seemingly more
past.
fitting for this game
Kill the past.
than it was the movie it was featured in.
Let the past die.
Does it hurt?
Kill it if you have to.
Wait, is it?
Was a
really
Kylo
got
Ren is the
quite-
bad
About
guy.
the line. Certain character motivations and choices
Yeah, why?
which Neil Druckmann set out for his characters. Without delving into spoiler
Okay,
territory.
all right. I'll be back in
think
a minute.
really
I gotta
all that I
reset
can
this thing. My computer's having a heart attack.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm having a heart attack listening to this crap.
So Let the past die. Kill it if you have to. I've discussed this before. That's not a good lesson. That is not a good lesson.
That is.
I don't know why people hail that as something meaningful or good.
That is not the focus of a revenge plot. The whole point of a revenge plot is you remember the past so well that you have one-track mind for the future. So no, that's not the point of the quote.
No. This dude killed my dad. Kill dude. That's it. That's your only thought in life. That's your entire purpose for being. Kill dude. Kill dude. Anybody stands in my way, they're dead too. Fuck them. That's a revenge plot. And this game does not follow.
Oh, here's our next.
We all know the only reason Ellie doesn't kill Abby is because Neil Buckface absolutely adores Abby and wants the whole series to revolve around Abby now.
Do you remember the Trump quote?
That's the only reason.
Do you remember the Trump quote where he's talking about Ivanka? It's just like, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. That's Neil, except like, if she wasn't 2D, I'd be dating her.
If she wants a bunch of pixels, I'd be dating her.
Oh my god.
Criminal imagination. I guess you would have to like TLJ to develop a terrible taste in entertainment. This is a common thread we see with these people whoever enjoys whatever the value of TLJ is or experiences like that, they have to have this strange taste to accepting anything that's different for the sake of being different. Oh, look at this. I was not expecting this experience, even though I was promised another. That sort of idea. So I don't know what's in their brains.
I think it's more the fact that with TLJ, it sort of showed who the hack reviewers were and who the proper reviewers were. But a lot of the hacks were the supposed intellectual reviewers, and they've now just dug that hole so deep they have to keep agreeing with the real shit, and it's getting harder and harder to fake it anymore. And this is why a lot of reviews are so vapid and empty and are filled with how does it make you feel and what emotions, because that's the last thing they can do.
It sounds like
and
a
I'm sure in
therapist.
2 or 3 years' time it's going to roll back to, they'll get over it. Once TLJ's been out for 5 years or 6 years and they've struggled to keep going, they'll go back to actually doing reviews.
Dude, so
Hopefully.
two things in the chat that I want to talk about. I Go Dreamer posted a quote. The only way to subvert my expectation today is by doing a good product. Yes. The second something is good, or like it meets the baseline standard of not shit, I'm just like, holy fuck! Oh my god! It's not shit! Oh my god! It's that is a true subversion of expectations. And then Jormungandr posted The Last of Us 2 and TLJ, let the past die, kill it if you have to. God of War and Logan, respect the past and build upon it. Now, just in those 4 examples, there's a common thread. The Last of Us 2 and The Last Jedi are hotly debated and are widely hated. God of War and Logan, I don't know anybody that talks shit about those two, or it has even a bad thing to say about those two. There's a reason for that, because they are sequels that respect the past. They build upon it and create an even better product.
The concept of subversion has to do with the ratio between what's a baseline of acceptance. So I always give the food analogy, but it goes with anything. That you weren't expecting to get what you didn't want, but you were shown something new that actually ends up being likable for whatever reason. So you might not like a romance in your adventure story, or you might not like a piece of pork with your slice of steak or whatever, but it ends up being a nice compliment, and it has to be, or it could be a contrast, and that's nice to be aware of as well. So it depends on how the scenario is given and how acceptable the alternative is. And that's all subversion has to do. It could be whatever reverse of a thing you want it to be, so long as there's a majority of something that satiates the audience's or customer's demand. And it's very simple to do. You can't use it as a hammer, though. You can't just see everything as a subversion. So that's where the problem lies. And we got that with...
Subverting expectations is a scalpel, not a hammer.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I feel like the phrase subverting expectations now is just used by these people to explain why something's shit. And you should accept it's shit because, well, it's not what you expected. It's like, yeah, I know. I paid $60 for something good.
Well,
why can't you just consume? Everything is subjective.
It's kind of like imagine a really well thought out murder mystery. So you have all these breadcrumbs, all these clues. It's all leading up to a certain ending. Like it's either going to be this guy or that guy. There's no other possibility. There's no logical deduction.
Knives Out.
Sorry?
Like Knives Out, is it?
Oh, that's a different story. I mean an actual murder mystery. So imagine Agatha Christie going, well, it really wasn't these two guys, even though I was leading you down that path. It's this other guy. You're like, wait a second. You didn't give us any clues for that guy. You didn't even reference that guy. You didn't have, like, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't just turn the plot on its head and go, no, it's totally the third person. Like, that would be a horrible form of subversion. What you would want instead is to have an explanation how that third guy ends up being the murderer and why. And give me exquisite detail as to how that works. Because if your detective can't figure it out, forget it. You're wasting everyone's time.
Oh yeah. There's some episodes of like CSI where they'll bring out a new character in the third act, and it's like, yeah, this guy did it. You're like, wait, what? Who? What? No. This is not what the evidence points to, and they're always derided as bad episodes.
Yeah, American police procedurals are a whole different ballgame compared to British murder mysteries. British are a little bit more nuanced. They're just as intelligent, I would say, but you're comparing it to like a cityscape to like a series of villages across a rural area, or like Midsummer Murders or that sort of thing. So yeah, you don't just play around with whodunit just because it's fun. You actually have to know how to write a murder mystery, but that's outside of what we're talking about here, where you have to play half the game as a character everyone hates. Even the guys who like the game hates the character.
No, it's all right. We'll not hold it against you.
All right,
it's fine.
Some crazy bitch came into my house with a golf club. I had to deal with it.
Sounds like you heard of us or something.
Now there's a driver-sized hole in my head. I don't know what the fuck.
All right, let's keep going.
This is just a perfect example of how player agency doesn't always work with a story-driven narrative.
Ooh, you're treading on dangerous ground here, buddy.
Just one thing. I love how The Last of Us 2 tries to give you quote unquote agency by having a shit ton of scenes where all you can do is walk forward, basically.
Hey, at least not using fast travel.
This guy is treading on dangerous ground right now because
they could have been cutscenes.
The narrative dissonance between the player and what's actually happening in the game.
Is
as wide as the Grand Canyon.
I would actually call this game the worst game in terms of that I've ever played in terms of narrative dissonance.
Yes.
Let me just go back. I want to hear what he says. I think he's actually agreeing with you.
I think all that I can say is that this is just a perfect example of how player agency doesn't always work with a story-driven narrative.
Okay, yeah, so he is saying it doesn't work. All right, that's what I thought.
Oh, right, okay, that's okay.
Oh, that's why it's a masterpiece.
There are key plot moments where the characters must make an ultimatum, which will inevitably change the course of the plot. And some fans feel that their Joel or their Ellie isn't doing what they want them to do. And I think
no, it's not that Joel,
what we want them to do. It's what they've been established previously to do. Who they are as characters. When they do something that is out of line of their line of reasoning, that raises a lot of questions.
Yes.
Yeah, but also the game still doesn't work because the gameplay does one thing and the narrative tells you another thing.
Yes.
That's also a thing there.
What is that actually called? The ludonarrative dissonance or something?
Yeah, ludonarrative dissonance.
I think it's called smuggler's dissonance or something. I don't know.
It's called crazy philosopher dissonance.
The thing that I always find funny is all these reviewers always go, yeah, but people just upset because their Ellies didn't do it. It's like, look how stupid these people are thinking that they had agency, had control of these characters. But if you reverse it, they'd be upset that their Ellies or their Joels didn't do what they wanted. It's like there's a lot of projecting.
There would have to be a series of elements like fourth wall nods but not breaks, where it's sort of addressing the fact that someone else is doing what I don't want to do, or the player character's looking at the camera and sort of like giving you a nod. Like there has to be some sort of nuance, and that's a repeated theme throughout the story for you to say, oh, okay, this is what's actually happening. They're looking at me. Am I a murderer? Am I a murderer? You're doing this. Like there has to be some sort of weird fourth wall element for that to be. This is my Joel. This is not my Joel, or this is my Ellie, etc. So that's not in this story. There's no nuance to that whatsoever. So,
I think a good way to give a counter argument to what the people are saying, like, oh, just because you didn't do what you want, is like, just imagine the family members of you that you have known your whole life, and they suddenly go on a murder spree, killing 20 people. Of course, you're gonna go like, what the fuck? What happened? And you will condemn it to the outright. And then other people will then say, oh, you're just mad because they didn't do what you wanted them to do. I'm like, no. It's because it didn't fit with what they know.
Yeah, a better way of putting it, I think, is this. It isn't that they didn't do what the audience members wanted. It was that they went too out of line from what would be reasonably acceptable by the audience.
Yeah, that's a good phrasing.
The suspension of disbelief was completely broken.
Well,
this game is a masterpiece at doing that.
It's not really what the audience intends. It's just who the characters are established previously to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but
also,
it's sort
Smud.
Like
Hold on, Smud. You have a question from Punished Berserker. Some people don't like a slice of pork with their steak. I'm sorry, Smud. Who are these smooth-lobed people you interact with?
Restaurateurs.
Restaurateurs.
They order all kinds of food all at once, and they make dishes based off that. So daily specials,
cool.
Sandwiches, etc. They do all sorts of fun things. Anyway, French people are cool. Let's keep going.
Food.
Oh, wait. This is a super chat from Criminal Imagination. I guess you would have to like TLJ to develop a terrible taste in entertainment. Did I say that already? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we covered that.
Okay,
yeah, we
good. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, we covered that. Hey, you got it read out twice.
There you go.
Where's that money?
For those of you thinking that way, have to realise that this isn't your Joel or your Ellie.
What?
Fuck off!
Yes,
That's
know.
not what anybody is saying. Nobody owns these characters. You just have to maintain consistency. You disingenuous cunt. All right, moving on.
All right. Exact.
It isn't that it's our Joel or
and
our
these
Ellie.
are Ellie's decisions and Joel's decisions alone.
They're not.
It's that it's
you can't
the,
say this.
It's that it's the way that the developers purposefully made us understand Joel and Ellie to be, and then they broke that commitment. It's not the same thing.
He just went, this is Neil Druckmann's story, and these are Ellie's decisions and Joel's decisions. No, they're Neil's decisions. Because he made the story.
Yeah, well, if he makes shitty decisions, then they're still shitty decisions. It doesn't matter that...
Yeah.
Like, George Lucas could put on screen Luke Skywalker wearing a frilly pink dress and going, I'm a pretty lady, while
just because he felt like
dancing with the Emperor.
That doesn't mean it's something Luke would do.
That's not something Luke would do. And then if this fucker came up to me and was just like, you're just mad because your Luke Skywalker didn't do what you wanted him to do, he'd be getting punched in the face. Like,
If the narrative were designed to have some kind of arc occur, where it would be narratively necessary for Luke to do such a thing, then it would still be
difficult. It'd be difficult to do.
This is a terrible example. But my point is that it wasn't constructed to make that kind of change. You can make characters change. That's called, that's a dynamic character. But this wasn't
character growth.
This wasn't constructing a dynamic character. This was just abruptly changing their personalities completely.
It might as well have been completely different characters.
Yes.
Yeah. What? It's like even it's like, what is the point of The Last of Us 2? Like, deep down, what really
if somebody kills your dad?
No. That's not. I mean, but like, what is the point of it? Why go to the effort of making this game, as in like, with the story and everything? Because it's such a non-entity of it. It just doesn't do anything. And this is what always gets me. When you actually ask that question to these fucking big brains here, they always say, "Yeah, but it's about revenge." No. That's a theme. I mean, what was the point of doing this? What made Neil want to make this game? As in, like, what was the driving, behind it, apart from money?
I couldn't tell you that because I think they're nuts, but I could tell you the possible utility that they saw in it. One would be for reasons of business and commerce, which is understandable.
Yeah.
And then the other is to push a liberal agenda because it is such a integrated part of your personality that it needs to be part of everything that you touch.
Yeah.
I don't like politics in my fun.
It was It was just a corrupted decision for several reasons.
Zach, is this video better or worse than the Zebra Giraffe video? The Zebra Giraffe video was objectively the greatest video I've ever seen, and you're wrong if you think otherwise, objectively.
I missed that one, and I'm kind of glad. So,
but the thing is, it isn't just the liberal thing. There's there's other things I didn't mention was the unnecessary subversion of expectations, the inconsistencies of characters, their changes weren't appropriate.
This is what I mean. It's so not even a Last of Us game. I just think why make it The Last of Us? Why even go to the trouble of even it just feels it's such a non-entity. It's completely destroyed the series. It's completely like ruined Naughty Dog's reputation with everything. It's completely, you know what I mean? These are like big questions.
Here's the thing about it. Like the first game, it was structured decently. It was pretty good. I liked it. I liked watching it. I watched a playthrough of it. I didn't play it myself. But I was just glued to the screen. So they did a good job with the first one, and in terms of speaking narrative structure, it was solid. Now, in terms of speaking any political propaganda, I mean, it had the most was just undertones, which is just a consequence of the narrative, because a couple of the I think there was like an enemy faction that was white supremacists or something. It wasn't even that big of a part of the game. It was so I mean, that was just a little bit of world building there. You could have made it anything. They may as well have been orcs in the Lord of the Rings. It's filling the same point. So it serves the same purpose as that, and it was solid. But here, this is completely different. It doesn't have that solid narrative structure or foundation, and then it also has politics shoved in on top of it, already not being well constructed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the end of my point.
So he's making the argument in this case.
I think you made a good point.
He's making the argument that the characters are their own entity, and our projection of them is not to be taken seriously. It's like, I agree, we should not be projecting our own intentions of what we think the characters are. The difference is that we actually understand the characters from the first game, and we don't understand how they behave in this one. It's a very simple concept. So we're not projecting, we're just listening.
Yeah.
Smud, I have a question for you. What do you... I already kind of know your answer, but what is your response to writing or movies or everything are subjective? That writing is subjective. Good writing, that is.
If writing is subjective, then all you are is a series of books that you've read and other things you've written. And your idea of what science fiction is the only science fiction you have written and read and watched, which you can get by, I guess, but you would have to actually read good works of science fiction and then subjectively, luckily, know what's good by your own experiences. That would be a subjective writer's viewpoint, I imagine. But if you actually, ask people, why do you like science fiction? Why do you like these stories? And they give you a multitude of reasons. your subjectivity or your own perspective would have to be changed because, like, wait a second, that's not what I was thinking. My perspective.
That was actually a really incredibly amusing point that you just made. The likelihood that someone is going to just stumble upon proper construction of writing through a subjective means, they would have to be incredibly lucky for that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That's why you have writers who are very strong-minded, like Harlan Ellison, who's just like, I'm going to write. I don't give a shit. I'm going to pump out books while I'm still in school and show them to my professors, and he does it. And he gets sales, and they're like, oh, well, you're not my student. Like, well, yes, I am, sir, and I'm doing well, and I'm not listening to you. So there's people who actually push themselves and just do the work and figure it out for themselves how something can be good. But they also form their own societies of writers that sit together and argue and get to know actual good authors and people who've written these books and make anthology compilations of other writers' books and put them together. And that's how they get better. They challenge themselves. They don't just sit there and go, oh, what's my imagination going to come up with today, and just forget all the rules. They have to actually keep their nose to the grindstone and listen and fight and bleed out that ink onto the page. So it's not like this completely vacuum. You have to constantly look what is popular and why. Why does it work? Like if I were to make a game, I don't know, a roguelike game, I wouldn't just go, well, here's the rules of roguelike. I'm going to change 5 of them. So now it's an open world, real-time, third-person chess thing.
Strategy.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a second, that's been done before. Why would you start with roguelike and turn it into something else? That is not what people want. It's not sprite-based. It's not, one death, the game's over. There's all these rules to things and why people buy that thing, why they know it. So you can't just guess. You got to know the rules.
You can't just come in with a wrecking ball and say, well, this was my story. You can't just pull Rian Johnson and just be like, oh, I know what makes Star Wars, and I'm not going to pay attention to any of that, because lore is just dumb nerd shit.
Lore is for pussies.
Like, what the fuck, dude? No, you are in this established universe. You need to maintain consistency.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the universe falls the fuck apart.
Yeah, so in relation to The Last of Us,
his own fucking movie.
The premise.
You construct something. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the premise of The Last of Us 2 having 2 storylines and the death of a hero. All these things could have worked very well, actually. It's just the way that they turned out and the reasons why did not click. And you could have Joel be killed off the first 10 minutes, no problem. But it's how you get there.
You gotta kill him off like Willem Dafoe in John Wick 1. That's how you do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's how you do it, because that's what we want to see. That's what we wanted. That's what they could have done with Han Solo in Star Wars. Granted, I don't think that what Star Wars did to Han was as bad as what this did to Joel, but it's the same idea, just different scale of disrespect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
as
just
with expectations
hate it
being
because
subverted,
you didn't get your Han Solo that you wanted.
right? So with the same idea with expectations.
I mean, you're right, but that's just a consequence of me knowing what goodness is.
No, you're just an incel.
Well, the
You're just a
idea
right-wing
of expectations being
incel.
subverted, which we talked about before, is you still have to give the audience what they want, and that's the 51% delivery. You have to give everything they want, and then the rest of the time you do whatever you like. Make it a comedy, make it a this or that. So long as they get what they want out of the experience, that it's the sequel, so you're expecting the same experience. Give them that with more or difference.
Yeah.
Fine, go crazy. But they didn't. They screwed up the delivery of the subversion, and they just kept changing things and kept changing time. Like when you understand time jumps and flashbacks in flashbacks and dream sequences, then you could tell a story. If you don't get that connection, if you don't understand narrative and how to connect all these dots and do time skips, it's a mess. It is a mess. This is what this game is. And it's hard to follow. Not on principle, but on like execution. Like you see these events, you're like, wait, now I'm Ellie again? Okay. Wait, am I supposed to care for what she's doing now? Because I was just Abby. Like, wait a second. What's happening? So, especially with character deaths. Because you know people are going to die. So why would I care about them? And it doesn't matter whether you're for Abby or for Ellie or whatever. You just know they're going to die. So what's the point? It's like a time machine. It's like, I know what's going to happen. There's no excitement.
Yeah.
There's no anticipation. Oh, they're going to die. Just walking you to your grave. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that a perfect example of 2 points that I would like to make. One point is the point Smud was just making about build up to a character death. And my second point is going to be my point on when it can be identified that if you do something that an audience member or the entirety of the audience doesn't want, when it's reasonable to do so. And my example is The Irishman. I don't know how many of you have seen it. I don't know if anyone is concerned about spoilers.
I'm not concerned about spoilers.
Okay. I'm not concerned about spoilers, no.
All right, good, because it's very useful for what I'm trying to say. So throughout the entirety,
Robert De Niro, isn't it?
Yeah. It's with De Niro and Pacino. Now, throughout the entirety of the movie, like the majority of the movie is that De Niro's character, he's basically a hitman for the mafia. That's really the quickest way of putting it. Something much akin to that, right? And the conflict that he struggles with is that he's the best they've got, and he will always do what they say. Except, in order to move upwards through the hierarchy, there becomes a point when, in order to maintain his loyalty, he has to get Pacino to shut his mouth. Now, he warns Pacino, he doesn't listen, even though he's his best friend. And then he's ordered that he's got to put a hit on him, right? So now that's the conflict. That's the build-up. We're all wondering if he's going to do it. The music is building up. He's walking into the room behind him after the majority of the movie was spent us wondering what's going to happen. And in the end, he ends up doing it. He follows through, he kills Pacino, and he just gets nothing but punished for it for the rest of the movie. Now, personally, I didn't like The Irishman because I would have preferred it be more like a thriller where he helps Pacino and he goes against the mafia and it's just the two of them fucking... Oh, that was what I wanted. Yeah. Objectively, I think it was great. Yeah. Objectively, I think it was great, even though it didn't do what I wanted. And it's also a great example for build-up before a character death. The entire very well done.
Subverted your expectations in a good way.
I was very upset. I looked at my dad, like my dad looked at me. He's like, I didn't like that movie. I was like, yeah, that was shit. And then I thought about it. Like, I'm like, you know what? It was good, even though I personally didn't care for it. It was actually really good.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep on going, folks.
You're really good.
Thank you.
These games aren't designed for player agency to dictate the narrative direction like you can in other games.
I love that she just shoves
You're given a blank slate to work with, such as Skyrim or Fallout. There is a story here that the game developers want to tell, and we are simply experiencing it from the outside perspective.
Unfortunately, your story's shit.
Without player agency being limited to gameplay scenario.
Is it the story that the developers wanted to tell? Because they seem so lackluster about it.
Whenever
they
you
don't really put a lot of effort into the story.
Whenever you have,
to be honest with you,
alternate narratives or multiple characters' perspectives, you have to have a good reason for that. And I understand what they were trying to do, to see the other side of the conflict. But you have to give us reason to like a character. And you can't give us cheap reasons like, oh, she's being nice to dogs or she has friends. That's not enough.
She threw a ball for a dog, Smudge.
My fucking dog's dead!
My fucking dog's dead.
So the story of this game almost feels like they went into it as if it was a bet. Let's make it as hard as possible for ourselves.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of strange because we have lots of stories where you play as the villain. And there's like a split narrative. Like I can always reference Breath of Fire 4 just because I'm old. And Breath of Fire 4 is one of those RPGs that you play as both the villain and then the hero, and you're sort of like this split soul, and it's kind of like you're going to face off against each other in the future eventually. Like you know it's going to happen. So it allows you to see from their sides and why they're considered evil, even though he's doing everything that he thinks is right. Which is what this story is trying to do as well. We just automatically hate her. So it would just ruin the entire experience if you just hate the guy. Yeah. Even though we know he's going to be the evil emperor, at the end of the story, but he hasn't done anything to make us hate him. We just know there's a thing that's coming. And there's all these other games we could talk about being villains and being godlike characters and playing godlike games or whatever. So it's how you set it up. Give us the hook. Get us involved and invested in the character for the right reason, not the wrong one.
Yeah.
As plot scenarios. This game explores many different themes and ideas, and none of them would work if you as the player had a choice.
Nonsense.
None of them would work if we had a choice. Why is that?
If at the end of the first Last of Us, you could decide whether to sacrifice Ellie to save humanity, or kill everyone and keep Ellie for yourself, I guarantee almost every single one of you would choose the good ending, in which you sacrifice her.
No.
That's not broad. That's a...
Wow, what a bold statement. Everyone would kill Ellie.
I'll tell you right fucking now. As soon as I found out they were about to cut Ellie's head open, I'm like, fuck no. Fuck no. Before Joel even said a word, fuck no, you're not cutting Ellie's head open. I brought her all this way.
Why is it the good ending? Because they're killing a kid. Why is that the good ending?
Because apparently he's
in his head canon, it solves all the problems just cutting Ellie's head open. He's
one of the people who
stupidest fucking idiots.
He seemingly believes that having Ellie killed and stuff extracted from her would immediately have saved the entire world.
Doesn't work. Doesn't fucking work
well,
like that.
He's making the argument
Mahler had
that
a great point about this.
Because of player choice, therefore there can't be a sequel if you have this. But we've seen Dragon Age do that all the time, where it's like, nope, we're doing it our way. We don't care what you chose. So, there's lots of games that do that. So it's not a
Metro. The Metro series does it.
I was just about to say that.
Isn't it the bad ending is the canon ending from
the bad ending of Metro 2033, where you nuke the what is it? The old ones.
Yes.
Nest, where you nuke their nest. That's the bad ending.
Yeah,
but that is the canon ending.
That's the same with Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Yeah.
The fourth worst, the fourth option, which is blow everything up, is the ending to that they chose, regardless of your choices. So this happens all the time.
I have a question for you regarding your statement on Dragon Age, because it's something I don't know. I recall there being a tool on the website where you get to put in what your decisions were in the previous games, and then it constructs a customized save file for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I imagine you're saying that there are certain extremely narratively specific events that aren't part of that?
Yes.
Is that what happens?
I can actually answer that. Yeah, BioWare has a set canon for the world, which is for all the base games and everything, but they keep changing it per sequel. So, in Dragon Age 2, the base canon is a male human noble Grey Warden who did the Dark Ritual. In Dragon Age Inquisition, it's a Dalish elf who died slaying the Archdemon. So that's what you get if you've got no saves, and that's the base game. But for their books and the films, I think they're going down the route of human male warden with Dark Ritual. So that's like the BioWare canon.
Right. But even before the Dragon Age Keep, we knew that they chose Liliana to always be Nightingale, I think, in Dragon Age 2.
Yes.
So she always appears in Dragon Age 2, even though you can kill her off in the first game.
The Temple of
Even if you load a save?
Yeah, she's always in the main plot point of Dragon Age 2. So,
do they at least make like a Mecha Godzilla version of her, or do they not do that?
Oh no, it's even worse.
It's the same with Morrigan. Morrigan always has a little boy, and he's the godchild of, regardless of whether or not you do the Dark Ritual or not, she always ends up doing it anyway. So,
I would have made a Mecha Godzilla version of her if you load the save. But
she's a spirit inhabitant.
Right. So I actually don't mind this. I don't like the fact that it doesn't respect the choices of the player just because that's what you gave us the option to do. Why are you taking that away from us? But at the same time, it's easier for them to make their sequel to say, well, we think this is the most fun we could have, or the best option for the narrative. And that's fine. I'm not crazy about it, but I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. It's like at the end of Dragon Age 2, you get a choice between Templars or Mages. And I think BioWare canon is always you choose the Mages. So that's how they set
They kept other things, but they were minor choices, like whether you save the kid in the first Origins game. It's not perfect. I don't care that it's not 100%, but a lot of games do this. So even if you had this option at the end of the first Last of Us, but this guy's saying everyone would have killed Ellie, that's just wrong. That's just silly. No. If you have options, people are going to choose them. That's basic stuff.
Yeah, it's really stupid, and it's going down this headcanon route of thinking this vaccine would save everyone on the planet and bring everything back to normal straight away. Like, literally, they cut her head open, they put it into a vial, and just slowly inject everyone, and like next Tuesday, everyone's back to doing 9-to-5 jobs.
And no. And if Druckmann still wanted to tell a story of Ellie getting revenge or whatever, he could still do that, because he'd say, well, we chose this ending. Like, we never expected you to have a save game. Like, that's not part of our game design, so don't worry about it. So there's lots of explanations you could have worked with, and this guy's logic is just it's so extreme. It's like everyone would have done this. It's like, no, sir. Sorry.
We've gone into the usual place of headcanon now, which seems to be a common thing in these sort of reviews. You can't argue a point. We're just going to their headcanon.
Yeah, I know. It's just, that's how it goes.
And take away from the whole message and narrative of the first game.
Sorry, it's
How
just
do you think any of us enjoyed the ending of The Last of Us?
Wait, I missed it. Did he just annihilate the nurse?
Yeah, it was absolutely annihilating.
Wait, let me see this.
It was really... Like, oh god, I don't want to die.
And that would take away from the whole message and narrative of the first game. I hardly think any of us enjoyed the end of The Last of Us. We slaughter loads of innocent people, and the choices Joel made to not sacrifice Ellie.
Okay, so he's making the argument I thought he would, that it's because if you have this freedom to do in the first game, you would take away from the whole message of the story. It's like, no, you're free to do whatever you want when you make a sequel. It's a video game. Get over it.
Oh, dear me.
You're free to do whatever you want. You just need to maintain consistency between characters in the world.
Yeah.
If there's no port over of a save game data, there's no problem, honestly. It's not an issue.
This guy thinks that if you tap left on the analog stick, it's canon that he took a step left during that portion of the story.
Yeah.
This guy he's like obsessive compulsive about it.
Can't you spare a lot
Let me crack somebody over the head. It doesn't have to matter.
I'm pretty sure you can spare those two nurses. I might be wrong.
Clearly, he just walked over there and cracked him over the head for no reason.
Yeah, one of them was on the floor cowering. One of them was cowering on the floor, saying, "Oh God, I don't want to die."
You don't have to have it, but you don't have to not have it either. You know.
Oh dear me.
They threw in a little button prompt.
But without that force,
that doesn't mean you canonically killed them.
There is no way The Last of Us would be remembered for the gut-wrenching story that it is. And how Joel, the person you had been rooting for the entire game, had become the villain of the story.
What? How has he become the villain of the story?
He's not the villain.
He's not the villain of the story.
His daughter.
He's saving his pretty much adopted daughter. So yeah.
His daughter, for all intents and purposes, she is his daughter at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The fact, oh my god, you dense motherfucker.
Okay, here's the thing. You know, you have kids. You really would do anything for them. If
Joel cannot lose another daughter. That's the point of the game.
Yeah.
This is what annoys me when people who quite clearly don't have kids try and explain parents' feelings and stuff. It's a very fucking strange.
I would sacrifice my kid to save the world.
Would you, bitch?
No, you would. I would. If it's supposed to be my kid and
let the world burn.
I am sorry, but the world's going down. Even Zach's soundboard ain't surviving. It's just
As I said before, I do have major issues in which certain events of the game are revealed to you. And just the overall pacing
wow,
of the game.
wow, wow,
I mean, come on, man.
Did you see that person drop from 2 stories onto the ground? No? Okay, neither did I.
I just... that was really... Why would you ever show that scene of that guy just getting hit by, I don't know, like a brick or something, and you go, it's alright.
Message coming in.
The grass wasn't even that tall, was it? It was just kind of like...
It was a fucking 2-liter bottle. He just threw a 40 at him. It was just like...
I bet he was more like, what the fuck are you doing, love? Are you okay? I've just seen you jump off a roof. Are you hurt? Oh god, why are you stabbing me?
He comes over to check on her and he's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?
Oh my god, are you okay?"
Like, here, you want a steak sandwich?
Stop!
All right, Joe Crazy. Hey, wait, but it's completely optional to take out the assistants. The only one you kill is the surgeon, and that's after he comes at you with the scalpel. Yes.
Yes, I know. This guy brutally murdered 2 people and has the nerve to say, "Yeah, look at Joel's a villain. You acted like a villain, you sick son of a bitch."
Come back into The Last of Us, where events have happened and characters exist, but none of it is explained to you until nearer the end of the game.
What?
Okay.
Wait, I didn't...
Characters and events
follow.
exist, but none of that is explained to you at the end of the game. Okay, that's...
I just had to be sure that's what he said.
Yeah, no, that's... We get that wonderful reveal from, what is it, weeks ago or months ago, of Joel's last conversation or whatever with Ellie, right when she forgives or doesn't kill Abby. It's like, oh, that's great timing. Thanks, narrative. Good to know.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to know that hours ago.
Would have been nice to know that Joel cared so much about this girl.
It's kind of strange to have flashbacks explain or deteriorate or change the plot just because you're like in the middle of achieving a goal. I'm about to get what I want.
Flashbacks to begin with.
All of a sudden, here's a 2-minute flashback. Oh wait, I should stop what I'm doing. Like what?
Oh boy, you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Someone in the chat just pointed out that for some reason we set in the description the game is set to Barbie and her sister's puppy rescue.
Yes.
Was that intentional?
That was intentional.
Who did what now?
Just look at the description of Smut Stream.
Let me just refresh it. Where?
Oh, it shows up in German for me.
It shows up in German.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's because my IP.
Don't worry, guys. I found it. Oh my god. Smud, you're a fucking madman. Hold on, wait. That's a screenshot. Hold on. Can
I just about these flashbacks? You know when like Ellie's having these flashbacks. Do they last as long as like the scenes and like Abby's just like going, is this bitch okay? Is like Ellie's just eyes are just glazed over.
Just I want that scene where like Abby Ellie stops choking Abby for like 30 seconds, and then Abby just like is like trying to see if she's okay, and then just slowly moves Ellie's hands back to her neck. Yeah. And then it's like the choking resumes again.
Yeah. They're like Ellie has the flashback, and Abby's there having like a smoke and a coffee break, like off screen. Just waiting for her to come back.
I like this image of Smud pilling, and then directly underneath it is Barbie and her sister's puppy rescue.
The first scene of that, my fucking dog's dead.
Smud, do you wanna do a playthrough of Barbie and her sister's puppy adventure?
I don't know, maybe.
Do you want?
Smud is a 40-year-old man, so the answer is yes.
Because he reviews Cavernacle videos, therefore he's a cringeman. That
Cavernacle is a gem. He is an absolute fantastic YouTuber.
Listen, Cavernacle is a gold mine.
No one else does what he does.
What did he say to you when you asked him if you could talk to him?
Oh, right. So, chat, just so everybody knows, I sent him this message. This is the first message that I've sent to him, and this was on Thursday. Hello, sir. My name is Zacharides, and I was one of the ones covering your COD video. I would love to have a discussion with you about that video in particular. I can assure you that the discussion will be civil, and I would like to bring one other person into that conversation. Please DM me here with your response. Looking forward to it. At Thursday at 9:11 p.m. Fuck off. I reply, oof, well, that's your decision. Looking forward to covering more of your vids in the future. He then replies, maybe next time you can stream it to your 100 followers on Twitch. I reply, just might do that, winky face.
I still liked his response to me about Call of Duty is CIA propaganda, along with every other military film TV series in Western cinema. I was like, okay, you are really down that rabbit hole. We got a refund for that history degree.
I don't know. He was nice to me. He never told me to fuck off.
Well, were you nice to him? Also, Grace Randolph still has not messaged me back after I hit her up. I tried to slide in her DM. She did not message me back.
Damn it.
Anyway.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking about the quarter pounder?
What?
Is that who you're talking about? The fucking... I don't know his name, so I just call him the quarter pounder.
Who? What?
What?
The quartering, not the quartering. No.
Or some shit?
Oh,
Cabernacle. There we go. Cabernacle. There it is.
Cabernacle.
Yeah, I just call him the quarter pounder because I can't remember that. Is that who you're talking about?
Yes. Yes, that's what
Oh
we're
my
talking
god,
about.
I thought you were talking about Smud Boy.
No,
I was like,
why would we talk about Smud Boy? Smud Boy's always been. Yeah, why?
Why would you talk about Smud Boy that way?
Why would Smud Boy message Zach saying "fuck"? Actually,
that was why I was confused. That's why I was confused.
Zach, I told you for the last time. Stop using your fucking soundboard.
Why would you talk about Smut Boy that way? He's in a stream with Smut Boy.
Boy. Why do I
I was like, what is happening? What is this?
On Twitter, I messaged Smud Boy, and he reads.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck that Smud Boy. What a fucking cunt that guy is. With his stupid fucking history degree.
Yokai, your response was, Smud never told me to fuck off.
That was my honest response.
Wow. Honestly, yeah.
I was just being honest, man. Like
you can't be part of the Smud crew until Smud's told you to fuck off.
While we're on Twitter, I'm just telling you all this to get the hell away from me.
Being in the Smudcast crew is being in an abusive relationship with Smud.
Every Monday morning at 9 AM, I wake up, have a cup of coffee, look at my Discord, and it's just fuck off, Hawk.
Friend Mataraki, the trucks have gotten to Yokai.
Get out of here with the fucking trucks already! Please!
I'm just imagining now that Smud on stream is nicely spoken, like, you know, quite calm and everything, and then behind the scene he's like the Canadian Gordon Ramsay. His fucking reviews raw.
What are you? An idiot sandwich. An idiot sandwich what? An idiot sandwich Smud Boy.
right. All right. Let's.
I feel like I just went through like 9 character arcs in 5 sentences.
Oh my god, I need a break. God damn it.
So yeah, we'll eventually get that interview with Tabernacle going, I'm sure. So yeah. Anyway.
This ends up making the first 10 hours of the game a bit confusing and head-scratching in terms of character motivations and plot decisions.
Ow.
Once you do understand all the key pieces of the story, the game becomes an absolute blast to experience.
Wait a second, so for 10 hours you're lost?
Yeah. Great.
What?
Pretend. Wait, no. Pretend it's what you like.
You want. Yep. Yeah.
What?
For 10 hours you're lost.
No.
But then at the end, when everything comes together, the game becomes a blast. After 10 hours of being lost and not understanding, I ain't sticking around.
No. We did not just get to pretend it's what you want.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
No.
Hell, we.
Stuff is happening. You're not sure why.
Headcanon. It's again. It's the sign of a bad reviewer. Once you start going to headcanon, it's a sign of a bad reviewer. It's a sign that you don't actually have any point.
No.
Yes.
Dude, this guy. Fuck.
So he admits there's a problem with the narrative for the first at least 10 hours. I don't know if anyone would do something for 10 hours and go, I don't like this. This is weird. I don't get it.
Listen,
I'm going to keep going, though.
Cyberpunk 2077 is a shit game. Let me be honest with you, with everybody here. It's shit. The story's not that great. I got teary-eyed at the end only because I had to pay off to Johnny and V's relationship. I'm probably not going to play through it again. But let's see. Let me just pull up my total playtime of Cyberpunk 2077. All right, well, I have to update Steam first. Thank you, Steam. I appreciate it. Well, it was about 250 hours is what I last looked at. It was 250 hours on one single playthrough. And I had a lot of fun going through it. 268 hours is what I got. I had a lot of fun going through it because the absurdity, the relationship between V and Johnny, and the glitches made it for me. Also, the gameplay was it was buggy and not amazing, but it was entertaining. But the story's shit. You can go through this, like all of this, 268 hours of gameplay of a bad game.
Could you imagine
and enjoy
260
it?
hours of Last of Us 2?
No,
I cannot. But but if I was lost in the sauce for 10 hours on Cyberpunk, I would have put it down. But I was engaged the entire time playing it. So for you to just be lost in the sauce, for 10 hours, and then just be like, "Oh my god!" At the end of those 10 hours, where I was just getting my foot stomped on by a fucking football player wearing cleats, at the end of it, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, that's like someone's lying here.
Like, oh my god.
What's the constant
It's
idea?
very rare I hear. It's very rare I hear someone say for the first 10 hours.
Gogeta and Gigi, you delete your messages right fucking now. God damn it.
Well, the idea is you have this, not exactly buyer's remorse, but you don't want to get buyer's remorse. So you just keep going. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And then you rationalize what that means. And I'm sure he came to some conclusion that he says, oh, yeah, this is worth my time. I'm invested in something. After 10 hours, you better be invested in something.
I've already spent 10 hours doing it. I might as well spend another 10 hours doing it. It's like, no, man, just stop.
Yeah, you can put it down. You don't have to sit here and get kicked in the nuts for 10 hours. You can go do something else. You can go play Ghost of Tsushima. Right? You can go do that. I'm having a way better time.
You can go have a walk.
Go outside, look at a bird.
Call your parents, tell them you love them.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, loads of things.
Go to my new favorite Twitter account, Toilets with Threatening Auras.
Yeah. Or my favourite one, women posting their L's online, which is a laugh a minute.
Subscribe to my
All right, we've got
that's happening. Zach.
We've got 3 minutes, folks. We're passing the 3 hour and 20-minute mark. So,
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's yeah.
I agree that if certain events were reshuffled, it would have made for a smoother storytelling experience. And last but not least,
that is true.
Please throw the brick.
The marketing for this game is absolutely a big fat lie. I think ultimately it's the reason for so much backlash.
No.
No.
I fucking missed.
Oh my god, Zach.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, the marketing is a big fat lie. I agree.
Yes.
Is that a reason for a lot of backlash? Yes. Is that a reason for all the backlash? Fuck no! The reason for a lot of backlash is because the game's shit!
Of all the backlash I have seen from the game, hardly any of it was about marketing. Most of it was about the game.
That's like saying, oh, you see a guy with a baseball bat going, look, that's all the backlash from the, it's all from the backlash for the marketing. And then stood behind him is like a 20-foot tall fucking killing machine with all the rest of the backlash. It's like, mate, just turn around. There's a lot worse.
Well, at least he's admitting there's faults. But this is the problem. If you're admitting faults, it's not a masterpiece. This is, unless the faults are so minor, they don't detract from things. Like I always go to that perfect story in my creative writing class. It was a comma or it wasn't a comma. Like a lot of comma splices, you might not be a problem with grammar. But this is the first draft, and this guy got an A, an A plus on from my prof. So. That's the only example I could point to, but it has to be so cosmetic that it's like, yeah, whatever. I don't think that's happening in The Last of Us 2. I think there's other problems.
Yeah. There's only like 90% problems. Okay.
Motivation of the main character, behavior of the main character, characters. Yeah.
It's like when you see those when they get those really long scrolls in like comedy films, and it just keeps going out the door as they like read off like a list.
Reading off a list of how fucked up The Last of Us 2 is.
And it just like rolls out the door and everything, and you're like, oh, we're gonna be here for a long time.
Gets comfortable. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's the reason for so much backlash. There are moments in some of the trailers which are completely fabricated, with character models swapped out, and the trailer setting us up to believe the story is completely different to what it turned out to be.
Yes.
I completely understand the reasons to want to hide certain elements of the plot, but fabricating scenes and being disingenuous with what the narrative is just false advertising.
Yes.
And it reminds me of the mess No Man's Sky was in at launch. Most criminal of all, though, is the marketing's attempt to completely conceal the fact that you spend half the game playing as a brand new character who is central to the main plot of the game.
Yes. That is a problem.
Well, central to a plot of the game. There's no singular main plot. There's two through lines.
A and B, yeah.
Not only is it false pretense of what players might experience in the game, but it's also doing a complete disservice to the voice actress and character model of Abby.
Oh my god. Wait, hold on. You took that character... Oh my god.
Yeah.
The actual beautiful, muscular woman and turned her into a potato?
Yeah.
Also, question: why does them not mentioning Abby in the advertisement do a disservice to the voice actress and character model?
Yeah. Why?
Fuck that! I'm just wondering how they took the character model and turned her into a potato. God damn, she was hot.
Yeah, don't worry. If you once you play BioWare games, you can see how they easily destroy the models. The female rider from Mass Effect Andromeda is absolutely stunning and gorgeous, and then you look at what she looks like in game, and you're like, oh my god.
Abby is genuinely my favourite part of the game. And the fact that she's not even on the promotional material or even on the cover art for the game, it's just
So?
disappointing.
Okay.
What? Okay.
So
Cry harder.
she's not on there. Cry harder.
The marketing. Oh no.
All right.
I don't.
So
Character
she
like
was
was in
involved-
marketing. That's disappointing. Wait, what?
Oh god.
probably because we only give okay. The fact that she's not on the cover art, good, because if you're picking up the game for the first time, going into it blind, you only give a fuck about Ellie and Joel. You don't care about Gargantuan over here. You care about Ellie and Joel, and then Joel goes bye. Joel goes to live on a farm and live out his days in happiness, and then you just have Gigantor taking over the screen and your dreams.
Yeah.
And Neil Druckmann's sock.
There's a lot of characters in video games that aren't on the cover art and in promotional art. Seems like a very minor, petty thing to point out.
I mean, it's not that it's a disservice to the actors that performed for Abby. It's a disservice to the consumer that has to suffer through Abby's storyline.
Yeah.
Without going in prepared for it.
Yeah. Abby's not on the cover art. That's a problem.
Yeah, for the consumer.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where he's saying it. I'm like, wow, okay, that's really why I said cry harder, because it's such a pathetic thing. Why even mention this? This is silly.
Because it's an 18-minute review and he has to reach the word count.
Apparently, they did release a new trailer, I think, last month, which was focused on Abby. So I don't know why, but they did do more.
Why did they release a trailer last month?
I don't know. They just did. They did released more marketing material the past few weeks for some reason.
Please continue buying our game, please. People don't like it.
But why? No one's buying it.
Yeah, well.
Hatred towards playing as her for the half the game wouldn't have happened if Naughty Dog had made it clear that she was central to the player's experience.
No.
She's such an unlikable.
It wouldn't have been as negative, but it still would have been taken pretty.
The first thing you see of Abby is her beating the crap out of Joel, isn't it?
No. You play her in the beginning.
No, you play a tiny bit before that, so you see her bit before that. But you know nothing about her. You absolutely know nothing about her. Basically, the first time you know anything about her is, okay, she killed Joel in an extremely brutal manner and enjoyed it.
Yeah. So
but that's the first time you can pinpoint anything to her character.
Yeah. So of course people are going to be annoyed playing as her. They're like, "Why? I want to kill this bitch. Why am I bothered?" Yeah.
I would have been fine, with her killing Joel if she didn't do it in such an incredibly brutal manner and enjoy it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The thing with Joel is, if you had played through all of Abby's stuff before Joel had died, and then afterwards you played as Ellie. Say if Abby's stuff was the start of the game, leads up to what happens with Joel, and then you change to Ellie, it could have been a lot different because now you're a bit like, oh.
Yeah, her character would still be incredibly inconsistent.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that. But it'd make a bit more sense than what we got.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to say something that's.
Despite being one of the best narrative experiences, the gameplay did not hold up well over time, and even put me off return playthroughs.
Says it like it's a given.
I'd still recommend it to anyone who has a PlayStation.
Despite being a great thing.
So again, we've kind of covered this, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it.
Mm-hmm.
He lists a very major flaw that the gameplay is shit, the narrative's good, and I probably wouldn't play it again. But it's a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right,
I think he's speaking about The Last of Us 1 now.
Yeah, but he's talking about The Last of Us 1 here because that's why he showed. Well,
Oh.
I say it's because
Oh,
that's
we're
why
talking
it's
about The Last
showing.
of Us 1? Yeah, that is a great. It is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my mistake. Yeah, the first one's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost a masterpiece.
But with the gameplay gets boring, but the story is great. Thankfully, Last of Us 2 delivers on the gameplay experience and offers tons of replayability,
so literally
especially with its new Game Plus mode.
It's exactly the
But ultimately,
Yeah, some features are worse.
Literally the same.
Oh no, sorry. You can jump. Sorry, I forgot.
No. There's actually one system, like in the first one, you can drop bottles and pick them up back again. So, for example, if you want to switch to a brick, you can drop the bottle, pick up the brick. In The Last of Us 2, you have to destroy what you're holding. You can't drop it.
Yeah.
So that's mechanically worse.
Ellie can jump, so it's a masterpiece.
Oh.
Okay, moving on.
Super Mario Brothers then.
Also, sky bridges. The Last of Us.
Leaving the ground with both your feet equals masterpiece.
I said The Last of Us 2 has sky bridges that somehow get up there.
I clapped when I saw sky bridges.
Matthias has just posted, subscribe to Zach Reads. Don't bother, because I won't be alive for very much longer. God damn it.
Go on, let's just keep going. We're almost at the end here.
Yeah, power through.
One more minute.
Short with story. Yes, the story is satisfying, and at the end it all comes together.
No.
The first 10 hours leave you fumbling around in the dark, not truly understanding character motives, and choosing to leave you confused and frustrated.
Wait a second.
That's a problem.
Wait a second. You don't understand character motives. If you don't understand a character motive, how do you have any knowledge of talking about the plot?
Yeah.
If you don't know what these characters are doing and why. How is that? Where's the narrative?
The plot comes together with all these things that I don't know.
What the hell was that?
I want to die. I have a splitting headache right now.
I can't read the sentence. The plot is satisfying, but you spend the first 10 hours not knowing character motives or what everyone's doing or the actual story. So
Oh
it's
my
not
god!
satisfying then, is it? You don't know what's happening.
That's like looking at the Sistine Chapel and going, "What the hell is this thing? What's going on?
Yeah.
What am I looking at?"
Yeah, it's just.
Oh my god!
You'll understand.
Killing my brain.
Who are these cherubs and angels, and who's that guy? What is he doing? Like,
Who the fuck's that guy? Why is he touching that dude's finger? What the shit?
Why are both of them naked?
Kid.
Why are they naked? Are they gay?
Where's all the golf clubs? We need more golf clubs.
Where are the dogs? We need more dogs.
My fucking dog's dead. See, look, even Gary knows.
Anyways,
you cannot say.
Aha! Moment later down the line.
what was that? I want to see that
Not
again.
truly understanding
What was
character
with the
motives
black guy?
and choosing to leave you confused and frustrated, so that can have a aha moment later down the line.
Wait a second. No.
Son of a bitch! That fucking editing.
Can I just say, taking that out of context, what is that black guy?
All right, that's the meme. That's the meme.
Oh, this video.
That's the meme where
That's the
it's
thinking.
like,
It's the thinking guy. The think about it.
Oh yeah.
yeah. So if you don't have something, it can't happen later. So what he's saying is because you're confused, that's a good thing because you won't have to think about it later. I don't like.
no, because we're confused, we can have an aha moment later.
Aha! Oh, it all makes sense now. When in reality, your brain's just going, yeah, sure, this makes sense. Abort. What the fuck's going on? It's been 10 hours. It's been 10 fucking hours.
No, your brain just crashes and then starts up with an aha, and you're just like, doesn't make sense, but
It's just the Windows startup theme.
Exactly.
Hour 11.
I wish he would tell us exactly what he's referring to, because I'm not sure what happens at the 10-hour mark where you go, huh? Oh, like it doesn't like what?
No.
What's the point? Like, tell me.
When is that? That has never happened in Yeah.
Someone want a pizza? We've been here too long. You're getting hungry. What's going on?
Yeah, it's
Speed dialing a pizza.
dialed. That's Zach's brain right now, dialing out.
Oh no.
Oh, let's just finish this because this game is not a masterpiece, and I don't actually think he knows what a masterpiece is.
I think it's the opposite of a masterpiece, honestly.
I think his grandparents bought him like a thesaurus for Christmas.
I
and he
think
found the word.
it's
He went,
a
yeah, I
very-
can use that.
Okay, let's use the Sistine
here's
Chapel
the thing,
example.
He just really liked this game.
Yeah,
he loves it. And why can't you guys just let him enjoy it?
Let's just use the Sistine Chapel example again,
Alright,
just as a
so
good
I
analogy.
don't like people enjoying stuff.
We
Those
have
blatant
we
sound
have this
effects.
gigantic fresco. It's beautiful. It looks fantastic. You're not sure what it is. It's just sort of pretty, really fresh, vibrant colors. Very big, very grandiose. You've never seen anything else like it, and that's it. You can't understand a goddamn thing. It looks great, sounds great, plays great. Reminds you of something better.
Yeah.
That's it. I can't imagine.
But never use the words, I was confused for 10 hours, but the plot was great.
Oh my god.
I don't know what the
That's
character
not it.
motivation is. For, like what? Excuse me?
Yeah. I didn't understand the plot, or the character motivations, or the world through which the story came in. But after 10 hours, I had an aha moment, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, what was the aha moment then?
This is almost as good as Brown Tables. These plot holes didn't really matter because they had no relevance to the plot.
Yeah.
Sexual
I
harassment.
just want to say before too much time goes by and this statement no longer makes sense. Those blatant sound effects just a minute ago with the phone cleared up so many things for me because I realized there really is a soundboard. I thought someone was getting their ass kicked or something.
No.
Wait, what?
There is
like when we heard those random screams and shit.
What? When? What random scream?
What?
Oh no.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No.
Did you think that like Hawk was like getting jumped and then his bone hit the ground?
Yeah, I thought I was getting.
What random screams? Wait, what?
Listen, lockdown's been tough in the UK, but we're not at random beatings yet.
If you guys didn't hear that, I'm concerned.
You got a license for those streams.
All right.
Oh, come on, let's just finish off this masterpiece of a video.
Told in a more creative way, this would have undoubtedly been a 10 out of 10. But with the fumbling about, and of course, Naughty Dog's misleading marketing, I find myself at a 9 out of 10.
So that's not a masterpiece.
It's not a masterpiece,
masterpiece then, is it?
Does this...
Dude, what in the goddamn... I got nothing. I got nothing for this.
Look, if it had the from the way it looks and sounds, and I can tell just by the way the character moves, it's probably pretty fun to play. And I understand there's collectibles and stuff. That's right up my alley. But if the story was as good as one, I'd throw a 10 at it. But I mean, the story.
But bear in mind.
Would you get out of here with the fucking JonTron?
Yeah, but wait, what was it? Can you just roll it back a little bit? So, what was his negative points? Because I heard the marketing, and what was the other negative point?
That he was confused. That he was confused for 10 hours.
You're confused and frustrated, so that can have a aha moment later down the line.
That
Of the story being told in a more cohesive way, this would have undoubtedly been a 10 out of 10.
Alright.
But with the fumbling about, and of course, Naughty Dog's misleading marketing, I find myself at a 9 out of 10.
Okay,
with
so
a must-buy.
I think that he's doing this
Your
as
problem...
I'll let you make your point first.
Okay.
Yeah, so the problem with this is you've just said the story doesn't make sense. There's a lot of fumbling about having the marketing, and you give it a 9 out of 10. The story's a big fucking part of this game. You can't say that one of the major things in the game doesn't work and then give it a 9 out of 10. That's not how number reviews work. You can't say, well, the story was bad, but 9 out of 10. No, that's not how this works. That's no.
Okay, so
No,
I guess
you're a liar.
I guess his idea of 10 out of 10 is perfect game, but that doesn't mean anything if you're not giving us a criteria. So a masterpiece is 9 out of 10, and I want to know what he means by that, because he says the story wasn't coherent at certain points, the marketing wasn't very good, he was lost for 10 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So
this is probably a guy that judges that anything that's a 5 out of 10 is just shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
5 out of 10 is the baseline of not shit.
Right, but
that's a 5 out of 10. You are average. You are middle of the road. You're not great. You're not bad. You're just you're average. You're a thing. You didn't fuck up. You made a thing. You didn't fuck it up.
Yeah, I know, but if you don't have an actual solid criteria for scoring, what you do is you start with perfect, right? You go from 10. You say, okay, what was the flaw? What were the problems? You just start knocking off points based off how big those flaws were. And you could have something like, oh, I didn't like the first 10 hours out of a 20-hour game. 5 out of 10. Okay. And then you reassess whatever makes...
And you shouldn't... I mean, you can have an overall idea, but you shouldn't know exactly what your final score is until you've finished figuring it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
feel that this person worked from... I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I'm going to work from there. That's what I feel.
If I like something, I'll be like, okay, I feel like this is an 8 out of 10. I mean, I don't do this, but if I was to do it, I would probably do it this way because it helps me think. I would be like, okay, I feel like this is, like if I was talking about Resident Evil or something, I'd be like, okay, I feel like this is a good solid 8 out of 10. It might be better, it might be worse, but I feel like that's fair to start with. Now let me sit here, write a good paper on it, figure out the individual things that may be good about it, that may be bad about it. How does it compare to other games that fit similar criterion? You know, third-person shooters or survival horror, things like that. You analyze those individual attributes, and then you probably end up with a number that's similar to the original number you had, because, you know, there's a human element involved. And it's either a little higher or a little lower.
Can you say analyze again?
Analyze.
Analyze, yes. Okay. Because you'd analyze.
Did I say analyze?
Yeah, I was trying my hardest not to burst into laughing to ruin your point. No, but with games like this, I always think of it as...
doing, step bro?
Zach, thanks. No, it's... when it comes down to this, I always think of it story, gameplay, and graphics with these sort of reviews is what they usually go for. And you can't have 1/3 of, like, you know, the story. You go like, well, I was confused, it was fumbly and all that, and then still give it 9 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? You can't find a big problem like that and give it 9 out of 10.
He doesn't seem to have a particular method for how he's measuring it.
It's like on Dragon Age Inquisition review we looked at, they gave it 9.5 out of 10. Even though they went through all the negatives, they dropped points because the facial animation didn't look that good. And I was like, wait, you're dropping points for that, but not for everything else you mentioned? And it's like with this, oh yeah, the story's confusing, all this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, but 9 out of 10. No, you can't mention all these bad things and then only drop 1 point.
Anyway,
9 out of 10 is missing from the game to be a good one. Maybe he meant that. I don't know what he meant.
Here's what I think. I could be wrong, but I suspect that this is a tactic so that he seems reasonable by not giving it 10.
10, yeah. He wants to give it a 10, but he knows that people call him out. 9 out of 10 then, and you're like...
That's such a good assessment, and you're probably right.
Yeah.
Like, if he wanted... if he just didn't give a fuck about seeing reasonable, he would probably just be like, yeah, I was confused for 10 hours, and the marketing is really shitty, but I don't fucking care. 10, greatest game ever!
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably what it is. But,
all right, so let's
if you
let's finish
give
off
it 9 out of 10 after mentioning all those problems, you're a liar. Sorry.
Yeah. Who owns a PS4?
You wanna,
5,
you wanna
4,
sort out that
3, 2, 1. Yay! I would have had the ending card be a bit longer, but hey.
So let's
do what
just
you do,
define
man.
the word masterpiece. Not that we really had to in the first place. This was his criteria, but he never defined it. So I think we talked about this before the stream. A work of outstanding artistry, skill, or workmanship. So we say this is something beyond a standard, that we say this is the perfect chair, and then there's something beyond the perfect chair, whatever. It's got a better footrest or whatever.
Lumbar support.
Whatever the unexpected criteria that makes the chair better than a normal chair. And I believe Crazy Philosopher was talking about how it's a rite of passage for the student to become a craftsman of a certain caliber that he presents.
That's one understanding of it, at least.
Right. Well, that's what the historical representation of the definition means. A piece of work by a craftsman accepted as a qualification for membership of a guild as an acknowledged master. So it's a masterpiece. This is how you are a master. So I don't know what criteria or definition he's using, but perfection is certainly not the one. It's something else we don't know. But that's as far as I'm going to try and figure out his brain, because he said a lot of things that were just too generalized for us to accept. I don't know if you guys did your bingo. I did mine. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, there was a bingo?
Oh yeah.
For me to not know there was a bingo.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bingo. Yeah.
How
did everyone do then? Actually, with the bingo?
So here's
What
mine. I gave a bit of leeway. I don't think he said themes at all. Maybe he did, but
yeah, he said it once.
Oh, he did.
He said it once.
I don't think he.
I was struggling because obviously I came in halfway through.
Yeah, I don't think he really harped on the T word too much. I wasn't too concerned about that. He seemed to have a general feeling for the story or in the game, so I was like, all right, fine, it's fine. But he did ramble a lot.
Yeah.
He went off on this and that idea. What
is title clickbaity or provocative?
Whoa! Blame Hawk for The Last of Us 2? No. You delete that comment. you delete that comment right now.
You could say the title's a bit clickbaity, but I don't know.
Hashtag blame Hawk 9 out of 10. Still Hawk's fault. Wait, why?
Because he thinks it's a masterpiece, but his definition's kind of wonky anyway, so it's not technically wrong. And plus, just because something is of a high quality doesn't mean it doesn't have flaws, which he does admit to, but just we don't understand what his criteria is. So, makes bold claim without evidence. He talks about, just many things that are generic. Like if they had the choice at the end of the first game that everyone would choose to kill Ellie. Like just everyone.
Yeah, that is a very weird.
Maybe he could do a survey next time. I don't know. That might help.
Whoa! Off next. Joel blames Hawk 9 out of 10 times he commits genocide.
Oh my god. Joel created Hawk. Hawk created Joel. The duality of man.
Oh my god.
That's a screenshot. That's a screenshot.
Oh jeez. No more Joel jokes. That's too many jokes for Joel in January.
Mean. They're great.
I just in doubt blame Hawk. What? Okay. It's not gonna save you.
In doubt, blame Hawk. The F1 key might be the help button, but it won't save you.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, that's right. Today's a double feature, huh?
Sorry?
Double what? What?
We're starting a second video, right?
We are.
No.
Oh, then what is
no.
this?
No, then what is this shit? It was a 2-minute long video, man.
That was yesterday. We had a double feature.
Yesterday was a double feature, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Gotcha.
I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I can't survive another video.
No, this is enough.
Yeah, I also need to go to bed.
Anyway.
That's what we say. I've jumped in halfway through, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. So
everyone in the chat is saying goodbye to me because they think I'm leaving because I said take
Bye,
care.
Yokai.
Because I thought.
Bye,
that
Yokai.
Fuck you, man.
Bye, yokai.
Oh my god.
Everybody say bye to yokai.
Wait, hang on. Can Joel's Bizarre Hawk Adventures?
Joel's Bizarre Hawk Adventure. Oh my god.
All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Keep voting. I'm going to be clearing out the was it 4th or the 5th? There was a third. I can't remember the number of the voting. I'll be adding a bunch of new suggestions come tomorrow. So if you want to wait on to the voting for that, go right ahead. You can vote for multiple videos in one.
Stop saying goodbye to me.
Can people stop saying that Abby killed Joel yet Hawk still roams free? How is this fair?
Oh.
Please don't try and get Abby to kill me.
Wait. Agent Yobai.
Okay. Anyway, guys, keep the suggestions coming in the suggestions channel. Yes, I do go through. It just takes a while to watch all your videos. So we'll get there eventually. So thank you for all your ideas. Thanks for voting. We'll talk to you guys real soon. Have yourself a great evening.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.